Okay, so we're getting close to that moment, people. Call this Wellness Wednesday. I like to call it Wellness Wednesday. Hey, Sadia, I see you. Hello, hello, hello. Karma Flores wants romance angels. Okay, I'll just do it like that. Romance angels, thank you. So before we get reading, I'd love to know what deck you guys have. So let me just check in with you guys personally. Gigi Valdez. Okay, so Gigi, I've got 10 folks lined up already. We're going to go like this. Hold on. Just give me a second here. I just want to check in. So we've got 10 folks lined up already. Sun, okay. Sun, Wo Robbie, Websy, Linda, Paula, Ashley, if you're still here, Tanisha, Lily, Karma Flores, and Incognito. So we got 10 lined up already. So what I'd like to do is work with these 10 here and then see how we go. If we have enough of the energy, we'll do some more readings, okay? So Gigi, if you want to pop back in later, and we'll check in, because I'm going to do them all in order, okay? So you'd either just want to hang around and just chat with everybody, or I'll set up a second list, okay, using a different color post-it note. This is going to be my backup list, okay? Okay. Hello, Cote, I see you. So I'm going to put keep this on the side over here if we get a chance to do more readings. So we're not gone yet. I just wanted to check in. Now, for example, on the early ones here, Sun Lehman, Wo Robbie, Websy, and Linda, can you please let me know which deck you would like me to read from for your mini oracle for the day? Okay, so I have 5 decks. If you've been here before, you might recognize these. If you're dealing with issues of spiritual ascendance and growth, and perhaps struggling with psychic awareness, or wanting to get more psychic awareness and in touch with your clairvoyance and clairaudience and things like that, let's puzzle this out over here with this deck, okay? It's about psychic growth. If you're already way up in the clouds and just swirling around in confusion or whatever, and you need to come down to earth, we'll use the Gaia deck, okay? Now, if it's about lovey-dovey things, we can pick the Romance Angels. If it's about issues inside of you to do with things that are very hard to understand between the ego and the soul, where there's some kind of internal warfare going on and it's very hard to understand it, we can help by using the power of surrender, okay? And then finally we have messages from nature, because we still have a lot of earth energy around with the Pluto and Saturn and Uranus, okay? Okay, so first of all, the ones I need to know first of all is Sun Lehman, because we're going to put you up right now. Sun Lehman, which deck would you like me to use for your little mini reading? So please, could you type it in the screen? I have 5 decks, okay? Websy would like the power of surrender, okay? I'm going to mark that in here for Websy. P-O-S. Thank you, Websy. So I've got yours. Sorry, I got the wrong W. P-O-S for Websy. Okay, Sun Lehman wants power of surrender. Okay, thank you very much. I'm always very impressed when people pick the power of surrender, because it requires a lot of courage to have these issues exposed to the self. Okay, and Tanisha, where's Tanisha? Tanisha Kell wants, looks like you're going for the Romance Angels. Okay, so we'll get to you. It'll be a while, Tanisha, so I hope you're really patient. Maybe just hang out with everybody. You can change your mind at the last minute, too, if you want. Hello, Cote. Hello, All Sun. I see you guys. Hello, Gigi. Gigi, I'm going to put you over. I'm going to keep you over here on the backup deck. Let's do it like this, okay? Hopefully I will have enough time. Gigi Valdez. Okay, I'll put you over here. And if we get the chance to get to you, where is it? I just saw your name on the chat. It would be the Romance Angels. Okay. So I've got you over there on the side. And I just saw a note from, who was it? Lily wants the Romance Angels. Okay. All right, so I think we're off to a really good start. And well, let's just dive right in. I know you guys all have busy days. Or sometimes I know, for Sadia, I know you're up very, very late. So let's do this. And we're going to start directly with Sun Lehman. Okay? Thank you all for being here. I'm just going to check in with you and say hello. Greetings. This is Terra Lumination. I like to call it Wellness Wednesday. I think of this as a worldwide wellness show. Yeah. The whole idea with this channel is to bring in the healing power of love into our lives from up above. And then own it in here. And once we own it, then we can be loving and be loved. It's very simple. Simple is not easy, but that's the reason I try to keep the channel going, so that we can learn how to do this stuff so it actually works. So you can bring the healing power of love into your lives from up above. And there are all sorts of things that make it difficult, okay? So with the channel, it's all about removing the obstacles. It's clearing away, because the flow occurs naturally once we clear away the obstacles. And most of the obstacles are in here. Yes. Hello, Joe. Hello, Sadia. Okay. All right. Thank you all for being here. It is now time to get to work. All right. So, Sadia, we're going to use the Power of Surrender deck for you over here. It's a very simple deck, but again, simple is not easy. Cards are already well shuffled in advance. We're going to go to the last second so that you are a witness. Yeah. Sadia, I'll put you on the backup deck over here. The backup post-it notes along with Gigi. If we have time, we'll see how things go. Sadia wants the Gaia deck. If we get there, let's just Gaia. Okay, so we'll put that there. I've got you as backups, okay? All right, Sun Lehman. As you know, I love to have an idea of where everybody is. Sun Lehman, you could be anywhere in the world. I started doing these shows at early in the day here, well, at noon, because it makes it much more available across the world, because I'm over here, okay? And I know some of you guys are over here, and sometimes over here, and over here, and over there. Hello, Capricorn girl. Yes, I can put you on the backup list. Let's see if we get there. Let's see if my throat holds out. I've been having lots of meetings recently behind the scenes, and Sun Lehman's in Ohio. Okay. I'll put you over here, Capricorn girl. Okay. 44, just to be sure. There we go. So I'm not putting that out on the display right now because we still have all these readings to do. Let's get going. Let's get going. Capricorn girl is in Belgium. Wow. I know, Websy, I think you're over here in Jacksonville. Sun Lehman is over here in Ohio. So cool. I love spotting people where they are. Yeah. I'm one of these people. I love maps. I have traveled a lot, lived a lot of different places, and I kind of like maps. I think they're beautiful things. This map was made in about 1927, in the 1920s, and at that time there was only about 1.7 billion people on the planet. All of this stuff is already established, but now today, here we are in 2016, it's about 90 years later, and we have 7.5 billion people. 7.5. It is a staggering number, and it's only going to go up. Population increases at about 1.1, 1.2 to 1.4% every year. Travel around the world. Have you ever heard of the hippie trail, Capricorn girl? Some people just, they get in, they just get their credit cards and they get into debt and they just go. Oh, so Lily, you're over here too, next to Websy. Right there. So you probably get heavily exposed to storms and hurricanes and things. All right, son, let's have a look. Power of surrender. Okay, so we're talking about, well, let's just pull the card first. Okay, here we go. Surrender frustration. Oh my gosh. It sounds so easy to say that. Okay, it says here, frustration doesn't open any doors. The key to resolving a dilemma or dissolving a block is to take a breath, center yourself, and regroup so that you may approach the situation more calmly. See, with frustration, what happens is, well, let me just check in. Frustration is a very classic fear reaction of not getting what you want when you want it, how you want it, and why you want it, and where you want it, okay? And when it's not happening, the energy, what we call frustration, builds up and 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 up. And when it gets to the extreme levels, you're just imprisoned in a vice grip. You're just and it's all based on fear. And the worse it gets, the worse it gets. Okay? So it feeds on itself. And so when you get to the point where you realize that frustration is in your body, it's like it's almost too late. And then you have to do all these self-healing practices. I'm one of these people, Sun Lehman, so that you understand, I understand the energy of frustration very deeply, because I'm naturally very optimistic. I have very high expectations of myself and other people, and I often get disappointed. And so that's very frustrating. And how can I deal with that? Because you can't force things to go your way, how you want them, when you want them, which is the desire of the ego, because there's the other thing that's happening around you, which is like, it's almost perhaps like nothing to do with you, but that's impacting you. So there's the ego. Let's see, there's the ego. And ego wants all this to happen in a certain way, and it's not happening because other stuff is either blocking. Oh, my computer's screwed up, or somebody didn't show up, or my accounts and my billing and all my finances are screwed up, and we don't know how to solve it. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. It's as though all the energies of the universe, people, love, relationships, just pile up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And that's a fear reaction. And so when they're saying here about doing these breath exercises, what it does, it kind of unlocks the grip. I'm not saying it solves all the frustration, but it unlocks the grip, at least temporarily. So I personally do some very super hyper intensive, what I call self-healing exercises, which are intense breathing, and I'll share it with you. First of all, I do a lot of shaking exercises, and I do breath work, and I do a lot of physical movement. Physical movement is incredibly good for breaking up the frustration. But also, I'm going to do, this is kind of weird, I've never done this on the show before, anywhere, or even with anybody. So, look at what, imagine you're standing up, okay? Stand up like this, okay? And then take your, I don't have a big enough stage here to do it properly, but if you stand up like this, lean forward, and put your hands on the top of your thighs and crouch down so that you're facing the floor, okay, like this. You know, it's like they do in sports games or football games when they're trying to catch their breath, and you're leaning down like this, and your face is facing down, okay? You do that. And then you do this very intense breathing thing. Okay, it looks like this. You do it really fast. You only do it for 5 or 10 seconds, because you can faint, or you can black out, or you can get very dizzy and fall over. But that is a very rapid, effective way to do like a breathing recovery act. And it will help stabilize you. The next thing you can do is start to do breathing exercises every day, like I do, every morning, because I need to surrender frustration. I have to. Otherwise, I can't function with my day. I'm super hyper vulnerable to all that stuff because I have super high frequencies and expectations. And when things go wrong, I feel insanely frustrated, and so I deliberately have to decouple from all of it, okay? So that's the message of the card. Surrender the frustration. You can't just kind of go away. It's a very physical thing. It means taking control of the fear, of the power, owning your power again, okay? So that you are not owned by the grip of fear. Okay, Sun Liman? So if you try those breathing exercises, come back and let me know how they work, and we'll practice again, okay? Thank you, Sun Liman. It's a really, everything I just shared with you is a really, really simple, powerful, effective way of doing self-recovery so that you can surrender the frustration, so that the frustration does not own you. Okay? Thank you, Sun Liman. All right. Whoa, Robbie. Whoa, Robbie. I forgot what deck you wanted. Hello, Felicia. Hello, Sonia. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I got to clear the deck. Whoa, Robbie wants Romance Angels. Okay, hold on. So I got to put a couple of names in here. I just saw Felicia Berkeley, so this is going on the backup list. I don't know if I'm going to get to you guys, honestly. I don't have any control of how all these notification things work for you guys. So I just saw Sonia P. Hello, Sonia P. This is my different colored post-it notes for backups. And Felicia Berkeley. Okay, I got you there. If we get there. So I've got all these to read. Thank you very much, Sun Lehman. I hope you have a super day. Seriously, study some deep breathing exercises and some very physical. If you, any way that possible, even when you're lying down, you can do a huge amount of self-healing with some self-healing practices that I can share with people. But it's a very kind of private thing. So in the backup list, we have Gigi. Okay, we've got Sadia, we've got Capricorn Girl, we've got Sonia P, and we got Felicia Berkeley. So we'll see if we even get there. I'm just putting the notes there just in case. Alright, so let me just clear this deck, and then we're going to read for Woe Robbie. Okay, there's the one. I knew I bungled it up. There we go. So let me put this up here. Woe Robbie, you're up next, okay? You're up next, okay, Woe Robbie? Websy ordered some CBD. Excellent. I see what you said, Corma Flores. I love the background. I do too. I love it. I love looking at maps. I live in an apartment in Los Angeles near the beach, and things have changed a lot over the years, but there was a time when I had a lot of maps all over my walls because I just loved looking at them like paintings. Big maps, little maps, old maps, new maps, travel maps, ornamental maps, all of it. I just love them. I said two. What's this about two? I don't know what you're saying there. Hold on. I gotta check in with things over here. Paula Scorpio wants the Romance Angels when we get there. Okay. So I'll put that on. And Linda, when we're going to be coming up to yours in a while. It'll be a while. Hello, Sarah LM. Greetings. Just going to clear this up. Let's have a look. Let's put this aside. We're going to now read for Woe Robbie. We're going to use the Romance Angels deck. Thank you very, very much. Let's see what comes up for you for a story. So, Woe Robbie, you don't have to say anything. This is automatically, hello Megastar, I see you. We're automatically going to touch the nerve. of what has to be dealt with, okay? So I'm going to move everybody up into the order in which we are doing all this stuff. It looks like this. Okay, so this is the order. The next up, right now we're going to be working on Will Robbie. And then we got Websy, then Linda, then Paula, then Ashley if she's still here. And then Tanisha, Lily, Karma, and Incognito. In that order. Okay, so you have to be very patient or hang out or however you want to do it. Hey Capricorn girl, I have no idea. I don't really do numerology, even though I go through periods of life when my life is saturated with crazy numbers, like, you know, all the 333s, the 111s, and 1111, and the 22s, and the 444s. There have been certain days where I have seen 777, 777, 77 times 77, and I've also seen 7777s, and I also had on the same day 77777. That's crazy. Okay. Linda wants, oh God, we're getting a lot of romance angels. Okay. Let's see what happens. Remember, I'm not a love doctor. I do not have a love doctor TV show or anything like that. I'm not going to tell you how to cure your love life. But we can get some insight and perspective. At least helps a little bit. Alright, let's have a look. I'm going to pick your card now. Here we go, Will Robbie. So, whether you're single and looking, or single and being stalked, or whether you've got a 20-year marriage, or whether you're like living together, or you're hippies out living in a tent, or you're on your own, it doesn't matter. We're just going to pull your card and let's see what happens regarding love and relationship. Okay, it says here, release your ex. Oh boy. Oh gosh. Okay, if we've touched a nerve here, okay, it says how the time has come to release your ex, to clear your energy. Oh gosh, again, this is one of those readings where it's easy for me to read this off the card, but it's a whole other thing to actually for you to do it. It's easy for me to say, release your ex. Just do that. Just make that happen. Here it is. It's amazing the binding nature that happens with human beings in relationship, especially if there's been like some kind of encounter, or you've shared energy, and then things like disappear and you end up with so-called an ex. You have an ex, and that means they have an ex as well, but there's a lot of unresolved energy. That unresolved energy can linger and linger and linger for lifetimes. Sometimes it's okay to release them. Sometimes it's stuff that where we know deep down we have to go back and do some healing. But if it's at a point in situation where there's actually no useful evolutionary growth for you or the other person anymore, and the only reason that you're not evolving is because of the attachment, that's a problem. Okay. Well, Robbie doesn't have an ex. Okay. So, hey, if you don't have an ex, do you want me to pull another card? I would be happy to do that. I mean, it's so obvious here on the screen where it says, I don't have an ex. So, if you want to, I will just read this for you anyway. Okay? I've never done this before, Robbie. But if you don't like this, because it doesn't make any sense, I will pull another one. If you want to know what it says anyway, in case it means something to do with like a little childhood romance, or something like someone where you had a crush when you were a little kid, or like maybe a relationship with not necessarily a lover, but a very particular person, like I don't know, like a workmate or a parent or something. So let me know. Type it in on the screen as soon as possible. Yes, pull another card. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Wow, I've never done that before. Yes, I know what you're saying. Hello, Fertility. I know exactly what you're saying. But with Will Robbie, it was really obvious and blunt. It came in immediately. I don't have an ex. So I decided let's just go with what is. This is what is. And so I'm just pulling a whole other card. Okay, Whoa Robbie says, say Robert or Robbie while doing it when doing another card. Okay. I'm going to do it very simply. What is the card that we need now for Robbie? For Robbie. Card for Robbie with no X. Card for Robbie with no X. What messages do we have for Robbie? Let's have a look. We've already moved on. We're not going to do the X card. We're going to pull a whole new card for Robbie. Okay, I made it a very kind of extreme cut as well to really break up the energy there. It says here, flirt. Aha! This is a totally different vibration here. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. Okay? I don't know if, what that might mean to you, but to me, flirt is the deliberate intention to initiate courtship energies. Literally like what birds do. Have you ever seen those mating programs where it comes around to mating season and the females typically stay very subdued, and they allow for the males to do some outrageous courtship rituals. In other species it's different, but flirting is very big in the bird world. It's part of the courtship process, and if you don't do it, then you don't get any action. There's no reciprocation, let's put it that way. Okay, let's have a look. Flirt. Okay, it says here, so this is a completely different energy. It says here, the romance angels guide you to initiate romance with flirtatiousness, which entails smiling with your eyes as you connect with others. Now, this doesn't necessarily involve sexuality, although it can. Flirting is playful in nature, and playfulness is the heart of romance. Okay? If you're in a relationship, flirting with your partner can even revive passion. Okay? If you're single, this activity of flirting can also attract new friendships as well as a love relationship. Drawing this card can simply mean that making more eye contact with others will help you connect with people. It's mind-boggling what happens with eye contact. Some people take it for granted, and we're very, adept as human beings about the nature of eye contact. But sometimes you can make very specific eye contact, which has very powerful messages in just a fraction of a second. That's part of the flirting process, okay? This is especially true when you smile and say hello more often, okay? It's deliberate. You're deliberately pushing the envelope of your own energy instead of living inside your own bubble of energy. Flirting requires deliberate expression and the pushing out of your energy field. Everyone you meet is a potential friend, and studies show that most people are introduced to their mates through mutual acquaintances. Therefore, form new friendships, both as a way of meeting a new partner and to increase your enjoyment of life. To me, it feels like it's very much to do with just your enjoyment of life. Literally, it's so easy to get stuck into, let's say, what I would call, simple, easy habits, where because so many of us have lived parts of our lives where we've encountered relationship dynamics that really suck, and so we naturally resist doing that. Sometimes people, it gets so bad that they literally become very remote, very detached from humanity itself, and they collect plants, they get pets and everything, and they have love in their lives, but it's like they're disconnected from humanity in terms of fun with other human beings. Now, it doesn't mean you have to do that. Hello, JGF. All I'm suggesting is that with the card you've got here, this is, to me, feels like that flirt. It means putting the energy out there, deliberately breaking up any old, let's say, redundant, self-limiting patterns that get you locked into solitude or singularity to the point where you're actually obstructing love and life and opportunities from coming to you because of previous fear from one form or another. So I hope that helped, Robbie. Okay. Well, let's have a look. So next up, thank you, Robbie. Hope that helped you. Web C, we're going to go for the power of surrender. Okay, it is truly an amazing phenomenon, the power of surrender. I wrote a song about it. I might play that, but I don't think we're going to have time, frankly. So I'm going to put this deck away. I just shuffled it up to clear it. All right, the power of surrender. We're going to go over here. Excuse me. So Web C, bravo. Okay. Sometimes this is such a hard deck to handle, you know, for doing readings or to even get the reading from you, the viewer. But it's really worth it. All right, let's have a look. So Websy, this is for you. I mean, you've been with the channel since the beginning, Websy. And to me, you know, every few months I see kind of an upgrade, like in your spirit and your courage and your vitality and your, let's say, your engagement with humanity. It's always on an upward path, so you must be doing something right, Websy. Let me pull out your card here. This is it. It says, surrender your desire to control people. Now, to me this feels very strange because we've had lots of interactions, you know, with the comments and everything. And the last thing I would have ever imagined is that you have a desire to control people. When you have a desire to control people, that means also implies that you have a desire to control the outcome of your interactions with certain people. Okay? So let's have a look. It says here, being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Okay, now let's take that a little bit further, okay? And can you see the girl here? She's very beautiful, very attractive, and she's dressed up in this sort of black leather thing, and she has a huge snake dressed around her shoulders. It's almost like, I dare you to come to me. All I'm saying is like, you need to be aware that things need to happen in a certain way or else. Have you ever seen that famous American flag? It's called Don't Tread on Me. It's a bright yellow flag with a rattlesnake curled up in the middle. It's the symbolizes the energy of people who were abused and denied their freedom, and they've decided they want to symbolically reclaim their freedom. It's a very old flag. Anyway, it says here, let me go back. I want to check with you, Websy. Hold on, stay there. So when it says here, surrender your desire to control people. So my feeling is that, what's it called? It's not passive aggressive, but it's something like that, Websy, where you can be conducting your life in such a way that you can put out like this aura, which might be very different the way other people perceive it compared to the way that you feel that you're projecting energy into the world. Like, for example, if you are, like, you know, over the years we've been talking about puzzling over relationship issues and how the, you know, jobs, money, all sorts of things, and constantly where you're having to deal with the frustrations of what's not working, okay? And so this card is kind of giving a hint that at a very, very deep, subtle level, you might be projecting a very strong aura of having to have things occur in a certain way in your life. Controls over people, jobs, money, situations, responses from others. And how you do that's your own business. But it feels to me like other people and situations around you would be responding in a way that you wouldn't expect, because they would be responding like, oh, what is she expecting from me? What does she want from me? It feels to me like she's trying to control the situation from me. And the thing is, with that card, I don't think you'd have the card unless it had some kind of relevance. But to me, it feels like it's very deep and subdued in such a way that we might have touched on a nerve, like, like on the elbow, ding, like, ow, about not even knowing that you have a very, very like specific desired outcome for life, and to control things. A lot of people want to control things when they feel that things are out of control. And that's very easy. We've had a long history of talking about those things where you don't feel that there's any kind of control happening at all. And so your natural reaction from the fear perspective would be to try and control things. Controlling things is almost like having very specific expectations that if they are not met, then you do something. You change your behavior accordingly to get closer to where you think they might be met. And that can often just make things worse. So it ends up compounding, and things get worse and worse, and you feel like you're more and more out of control, and then you want to control it more. So, but it would be very confusing and very hard to pinpoint that in yourself, because you might not be aware of it. But this card is pointing it out that the issue is there, but it's probably very deep and very subtle, and now it's coming to the surface so that you can reveal it to heal it. Okay? So Websy, I hope that made sense. Okay? To me, this was a very difficult card to read for you and to you, because my feeling is that it probably won't make much sense unless you sleep on this reading for a little while, for a few days, okay? And let it soak in what the real meaning is here. I'll just read the title again for you. Surrender your desire to control people. Okay, let's leave it at that. All right, Websy? Well, I'm sure we'll follow up on another time about all of this. Let's have a look. Next up, we have Linda over here. And Linda wants Romance Angels, so give me a second, Linda. I'm going to clear the deck here. Okay? So, yeah, Websy, what I was thinking with that reading, it's maybe it just came upon Tarot Lumination to have to be the unlucky one to have to deliver that message. Because maybe no one else is going to deliver it. Like if you're hurting enough in life already, and people around you who do love you, maybe the last thing they're going to do is point it out to you, like, hey, you're being too controlling, Websy. And you would think like, what do you mean? I'm not a controlling person. I'm soft and caring and sensitive. And then somebody says something like that. Whoa. Oh, okay. So Websy, the thing that you just wrote on the screen, it might be very interesting to write that to yourself on a large post-it note and put it on the wall somewhere, but something like this. I am learning to trust myself, to trust more instead of false beliefs that I've been telling myself that don't work for so many years. Okay? So that's good. All right, so I'm glad the reading is helping you a little bit. Okay, after Linda, we're going to have Paula. Paula wants Romance Angels as well. And then after that, I don't know, if Ashley's still here, if you're still here, Ashley Vasquez, let us know, and let us know which deck you want. I'm going to put this over here, and then this over here, and I'm going to put this up here, like this, and this over here, and this over here, because I like to have a little bit of symmetry while we can. All right, Linda, here we go. Romance Angels. Let's have a look. Okay. Let's see now. What do we got going here? Hey, Linda. You know what? As far as I recall, you've been here since pretty much the beginning of the channel, too. Just like Websy and a few others. Thank you so much for all the support over the years. So let's go broad and wide, okay? All right, Linda, we'll not put any heavy expectations on the card. I'm going to do a really extreme cut so that we have a very clear reading for you. It looks like this. Okay. Past life relationship. Oh, interesting. You have known each other before. So, Linda, whether you're hooked up or not at this moment, it's kind of irrelevant. What I'm sensing here is that we're looking at like your world above and beyond like the three-dimensional Linda. Let me just make a doodle here. I feel a compulsion to make a doodle. I can't help it. I'm sorry. So I'm going to put Linda here at the center of your life and world. Linda Descartes over here. Okay, so like your typical love and relationship, romantic tarot channel reading would be concerned about yourself and a certain significant other. And I'm not going to put anyone on there. What I'm going to talk about here with this situation, with this card, is that I'm looking at you above and beyond the three-dimensional self. This is your three-dimensional self. And in that three-dimensional world, you would have all the people that you know, your activities, things like jobs, career, location, house, friends, family, existing relationships, past relationships, future relationships on the three-dimensional plane. Okay? Literally, life here on this planet. But what I'm sensing here is that what we're talking about is other lifetimes over here, and here, and here. Okay? And some of these could be like, like a generation, one generation ago, or maybe two, or maybe five. And you could also look, I can't put it on here, but the way things work for myself in my own life, I'm also aware a little, I've had exposure to what I would call future lives. Okay? And it all exists above and beyond and outside what we consider our world. So, what I'm sensing here for you, before we even go into the reading, I'm sensing is that your aura is kind of like this, whether you know it or not. Like there's the Linda that you know, okay? The physical Linda that you know, but we're talking about like the aura above and beyond Linda that we know. And somewhere in that energy field, there are certain individuals who are like, they might not actually be like in your life, in your world in a three-dimensional way right now, but they are out there. And at some point they're looking to integrate with you. Sometimes, like in dream worlds, you can have connections with spirits that you feel you know very, very well, but they're not actually here. It's people who, with whom you have related, and perhaps they're getting closer and closer to wanting to actually incarnate in such a way so you could know about them in this lifetime. Also, Linda, again, I haven't even read the card yet, but it might be in terms of, hold on, I want to make sure that you understand this is you here at the core. What I'm also talking about is that you could be talking about people who are living and alive right now, but have not actually connected with you in physical world. But they might be on their way, or they might have already departed. So they're not there right now. I hope that makes sense. Oh, you know who it is. Ah, okay. That's good. Okay, so we have some definition. So let's go from here. It says, you have known each other before. Okay? So then all the can you see, I don't know if you can see the imagery here. It looks like some Stonehenge stuff in the background. So we could be talking about past lives that go back thousands of years, okay? And you can't, it doesn't look like it here, but if you could see this almost like a ghostly reincarnation from way in the past, and they're now in your physical life now, some way, shape, or other. Let's have a look. Okay, let's go here. The romance angels sent you this card to explain the relationship you've inquired about. You have some unfinished business in conjunction with a soulmate from a past life. This may involve forgiving someone, a joint project, or learning personal lessons such as patience, whatever it might be. In other words, if a relationship was severed or cut short for whatever reason, like you dumped them or they dumped you, or let's say circumstances interfered, but your soul commitments to each other for spiritual advancement and growth and love and healing were not completed, then you will inevitably have a strong magnetic pull to reconnect again in another lifetime. And it looks like this is what is happening now, for whatever purpose. It's whatever it was, it's unresolved and it needs work. Soulmates recognize each other instantly, and this feeling is often registered as a sense of romantic or sexual chemistry. The magnetism that draws two people together can surpass logic, because the purpose of the relationship is healing and learning. It isn't not necessarily meaning that you have to fit into like a modern three-dimensional template of a relationship. In other words, oh, we have to have sex, we have to get married, we have to have babies, mortgage, car payments, college kids, and everything like that. No. It's very much about the healing and the learning. Thank you. Thank you, little book. Whether or not your soulmate becomes your life partner, that's kind of irrelevant. You will experience personal and spiritual lessons and growth as a result of relating. Past life regressions can also help you uncover the answers that you seek. Some people actually do that. They get couples sessions. They book a past life regression ceremony and they do it as a couple. But the thing is, typically, Linda, you would know, somewhere inside of you, you would know, you would feel it as some kind of pulse, if it's whatever it might be, something where there was deep damage done and we need forgiveness and healing, or something where there was unfinished business because of some kind of tragedy and there's deep love, and then you get the chance to reconnect and go from there. It could be all sorts of things, okay? It's really, really good to have the awareness of past life soulmate relationships in your life, because otherwise it can be very confusing relative to a three-dimensional life. They're very different and they exist for a reason, okay? So it might just help to know, Linda, that you're dealing with someone where you have shared energy before in some way, shape, or another, and you're back here to do the work. Okay, we've had a huge amount of retrograde planets recently with Saturn. There was a period when we had Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. All of the big ones retrograde earlier this year. Right now, we're only dealing with Uranus and Neptune that are retrograde. But over that, over this year, a big chunk, especially towards the middle of the year, you might have felt a real surge of that past life energy type relationship coming into your world because of the huge subcurrent of retrograde planets. Okay? Hello, Gould Rose. Let's have a look now. Thank you, Linda. Hope that helped. I'm going to do it all like this. I'm going to do everything properly. Paula, I hope you're still here, Paula. We've got yours. We're going to do Romance Angels as well for you, Paula. And then we're going to read for Ashley, if you're still here. Tanisha, if you're still here. And then Lily, and then Karma, and then Incognito. So that's the order of business. Thank you, Linda. Hold on, I want to check in. Thank you, Linda. I hope that helped. The whole idea. I'm lucky. I feel very lucky because I'm very exposed to those kinds of energies, and I'm very aware of relationship dynamics when they come in from whoever for whatever reason. It's very evident when there's past life connections, for better or worse. It's so obvious. I've learned a long and hard way, and so it sounds to me like you already know. So the question is now, getting into it, taking full advantage of the fact that it's there at all, and don't waste a second. if part of your soul path and soul evolution requires things like forgiveness and healing and, trying to resolve things that were unresolved, that's work. But it's worth it because that's how you remove the obstacles to more love coming into your life. Okay? Otherwise, like if your whole auric self and your three-dimensional self is full up with, let's say, stuff that doesn't need to be there anymore, it's just like having a huge dumpster full of trash and you can't put any more into it. It makes it very hard to do anything on top of that effectively because it contaminates the rest of life. So often with past lives, it's really good for like cleaning things out, clearing the air so that everything breathes and opens more freely, and then you can receive the healing power of love more and more effectively and have a richer, happier life. So I'm hoping you see the past life relationship as a blessing, even though it might have challenges. All right, Paula, you're up. Hello, Paula. I see you. And Tanisha is there. Good, thank you. And then we have Lily and Karma and Incognito. Let's have a look. All right, I need some water. I've had a lot of meetings, so my throat is very sore. Paula, here we go. Hey, Janine. Hello, Janine. All right, Paula, so we're going to do Romance Angels for you, whether you are hooked up or married or single or in between, or you've just dumped someone or someone just dumped you, or maybe like you're a single mom, or maybe you're young and you want to have kids or not, or whatever it is. We're gonna figure out what's going on. Give you a little bit of, I don't know. It's just nice to have feedback sometimes, Sometimes the thing that happens with this channel is like the mirroring effect. Like you can't get it from your actual mirror in your bathroom, and you can't get it from some of your existing relationships. So you end up coming to a place like Tarot Lumination, and you get like a multi-dimensional reflection. Yes, Linda, like Saint Raphael, I don't know much about the big archangels, but if you do invocations and ask them specifically to enter your life from up above, then they do that. But it really, really works by invitation. Okay, you have to literally send out a request for their help and their support in the healing. Paula is single. Okay, all right. So let's have a look from a single perspective. Now, if the card that we pull doesn't make sense at first, then we have to think about it. But if it does make sense, we'll see what happens. Thank you, Paula. All right, cards are well shuffled. Actually, I'm going to do one more last chunky shuffle. No jumpers, no flyers, no reversals, none of that. Let's pull this over here, see what we've got. Okay, so here is your card. Is here. Stay optimistic about your love life. Okay, that's perfect in your situation. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Okay, look, it's almost like see this statue over here? I'm not sure who it is. It's probably some wonderful incarnation of a person, and it's almost like she's putting up a love offering. Like, to me, it looks like very deliberate desire and intention for being almost like trying to invoke love, especially romantic love. Okay, let's have a look. Let's read from the book first before I start doing my own rant. Okay. Okay, so this is probably going to give some messages that you might not have considered before. It says here, positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. The romance angels send you this card to remind you that you have a strong influence upon your love life satisfaction. Aha! If you've been complaining or worrying lately, the angels guide you to shift to a more optimistic perspective. Even if you've had your romantic hopes repeatedly dashed, there's still a reason to hold the faith that real love can be yours, if you believe it. Oh my gosh. So, Paula, I haven't finished reading this yet, but you know, I sometimes talk about you got to reveal it to heal it. Well, there's another one. And I don't know who said it. It's like a famous thing. It's like a bumper sticker on cars. You have to believe it to see it. You have to truly believe it to see it. And sometimes if inside of your body, like you're cursing yourself, like I'm never going to find love. Nobody loves me. Nobody seems to get me or understand me. Can you understand how you're effectively just cursing yourself? And so then, like if we were doing, personal readings and things like that, I would be telling you like, okay, it's time to brainwash yourself. It is literally time to brainwash yourself by doing these little incantations like, I am worthy, I am deserving, I am open to receive, I am ready, I am willing, I am able to receive love, romantic love. And then you repeat that, and then you repeat it, and you repeat it. You could say it almost like definitively. Like, I'll try to do it with the right intonation. I am worthy, I am deserving, I am open to receive great love. I am ready, I am willing, I am able to receive great love. Okay? And you can practice that in front of a mirror, like you're going to acting class or something. Okay? Remember, you're the star of your own movie, and if you keep messing up your lines, the movie's just not going to work properly, so you have to get it right. Pretend you're the director, directing you, the lead actor, in your own movie. And they're telling you, go back to the mirror, go back to your dressing room where they're doing the hair, makeup, and wardrobe, make yourself feel and look gorgeous, and then say that into the mirror. But say it with conviction, okay? And then you keep doing it, and watch what happens, okay? I'm not kidding. It takes practice, okay, Paula? It takes practice. Even if you've had your romantic hopes repeatedly dashed, oh no, there's still reason to hold the faith that real love can be yours. If you believe it. In other words, it's conditional. If you don't believe it, then it's not going to happen. And you end up getting worse and worse and worse. So you have to believe. Oh my gosh, there's tons more here. Hold on. Let me read this. Okay. Today, take deliberate action steps to positively manifest the love you desire. Whether you're single or in a partnership, begin by visualizing yourself as romantically happy and satisfied. Okay, so to me it's very much about doing rehearsals in front of a mirror. Get dressed up. Do yourself up as though you were going out on a date. Okay, and you want to feel gorgeous, and you say that invocation to yourself with the right tone of voice, and do it over and over, like maybe 3 or 4 times until you truly, it's like inside of you, like an actor learning their lines. Because I've worked in TV and film for a long time, and actors who are really good, they have the ability to deliver their lines very authentically, even though their personal lives might be hell at that moment. It's their job. Their job is to act. Okay, so in this situation, your job is to live that role. Okay? See and imagine yourself with a wonderful partner who embodies the qualities that are important to you. Imagine that person appreciating and loving you too. Okay? So it's like writing a script, writing a movie screenplay, or like a television series. Okay? That's all about you, and you're the star. You can write lists and conduct journaling sessions about your feelings, hopes, desires, and intentions. You can also create a dream board with images and phrases related to your love life goals pasted onto a poster board. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Dream boards are incredibly powerful. You could go to the dollar store, or you could go somewhere fancy and get some big kind of board thing and a bunch of post-it notes and colored pens and whatever, and start doing crazy things on a board. No one else has to see it. No one has to know about it. You could hide it under the bed or something, or in the closet, and every now and again you build out your dream board for love and relationship. And you do the rehearsals in front of the mirror. I'm not kidding. Okay? This is serious stuff. Okay. Every day, look at this dream board with positive intent and follow any inner guidance to take actions related to your dreams. Like sometimes, like if it was full up with post-it notes like this, you could think, oh, that post-it note doesn't make sense anymore. So you tear it off and rip it up and you put a new one that's better. And so on and so on and so on. So you're actively pumping energy to make your love life better, okay? Your positive outlook will make a more physically and energetically attractive person, okay? Which will definitely help you relationship with yourself and everyone else too. In other words, it has to come from within. It has to start from the inside of you, Paula. The inside of you. It's like you have to be the writer, the director, and the star of your own movie. Okay? If you think of your love and relationship dream board, it's kind of like how, movies have a screenplay. You can do that. You can start over here, like put up, literally, I'm not kidding. You can go to a dollar store and get some big poster board things and whatever, and then you can start to make that happen, and you can change it, and it becomes messy and then scary, and then if you have to make a new one, you make a new one. And then I've done dream boards and they're really powerful, okay, Paula? They really are. So I hope this helps you. I really do. It really requires taking charge. It's literally like going to acting class with yourself, okay? It's literally like that. No one's going to do it for you. You have to be the director, the producer, and the lead actor. And then watch what happens. It's not going to happen necessarily instantaneously. It will happen as you take charge. As you deliberately take charge of this, okay? Thank you so much, Paula. Ashley Vasquez, are you still here? Are you still here, Ashley Vasquez? Because you came in earlier, and then I don't know if you went. So I'm going to put you up. I'm going to give you a couple seconds. If you're not here, we're going to move straight on to Tanisha. Tanisha, you're over here. You want Romance Angels too. So I'm going to shuffle up the deck, ready for whoever it is. If Ashley's not here, we'll know in about 30 seconds, okay? So Ashley, if you're here, we got 30 seconds, okay? Type it in and we'll get you your reading. We've got about, let's see, about 20 seconds to go. And if I don't see anything on the screen, I'm going to move straight on to Tanisha, which gives a greater chance for one of you guys to get one of these in case you're still here. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm just checking. Okay, we're well past it. Thank you, Ashley. It was lovely. Take care. See you next time. Bye. Hey, Janine. Yes, I will put you over here, but you're going to be way at the tippy end of the yellow backup post-it list, okay? Sorry. Because all these other people are backups. These are all the backups, okay? I got all these backups over here. So, Janine White, I'll put you in here. Thanks, Janine. But it's possibly going to be a long wait, and the chances look to me like it's pretty slim that you'll get the reading, but you're there. You know, some people just go home and they think, I can't be bothered, I'm going to wait another time. And so we might have more people dropping out. We'll see. Right, Tanisha, we're going to put you up front and center here. It's now going to be your reading. I'm going to move Lily over here, okay, over in Siberia. And we're going to put Karma Flores over here in the Pacific Ocean near Japan. And I'm going to put, let's see, I'll leave Incognita over here in the North Pacific. All right, there we go. So here we go. Hi, Tanisha. Thank you. Yeah, I got you. You're up. You're up, Tanisha. Romance Angels. So if you want to, like, people have been sharing a lot on the screen today, like, oh, I'm single, oh, I'm not, I know who it is, it's a past life, I've met them before. And so, you know, if you've got something that you want to share, it's fine. I'm going to shuffle up and pull your card in just a moment. So if you're concerned about a certain person, okay, or whether you don't have someone, or if you've got a lot of conflict with someone, whatever it might be, if you just maybe put a couple words on the screen, it might help others understand your situation better. In other words, what are the messages that we have here today for Tanisha Kell regarding the subject of ... Oh, I see. Okay, so it's very specific. It says here from Tanisha, well, I would like to know what stands up for me here. The Aries and them, the Aquarius. We are expecting a child together, but he has been off and I'm ready to let go. Okay, let's have a look. So there is a little child here involved. Obviously, ideally, the child would love to have a mommy and a daddy. Every child wants to have a mommy and a daddy, but if it looks like daddy's already running off, then you have to face the possible realities, Tanisha, that you might be a mom and there might be a single mom. So what do we do now? Some single moms are just fine. They do incredibly well, and they find other ways to, like, manage things. And you have people like stepfathers who step in, uncles and friends of the family, or brothers and grandparents and cousins who are male, to provide like a surrogate father figure type of energy. Some people have godparents and all of that kind of stuff. It just depends on your world, your dynamic, your family situation, your friends, and all of your relatives and all of that. You know, some people it's difficult. They want everything to be exactly perfect. The perfect husband, the perfect wife, the home and the baby, lovey-dovey mommy, daddy. But if you can handle the idea of being a single mom, it might be better just, you know, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but, you know, at least you're aware of things. You understand that there's a child coming, and you're obviously, to me it feels like your big concern is being in the best frame of mind that you can be for yourself and for the child. So that's good. That's actually, to me, that's like a very healthy approach. Let's have a look. I'm making the cut extreme, okay? Because I like a lot of clarity. Yes, I see your notes, Tanisha. It says here, past life relationship. Oh gosh, we've got this thing again, okay? You have known each other before. Now, if you want, you can just, you know, watch the action replay about past lives, but I would like to offer you another card, okay? With the past life relationship, we did a long, extensive report for, I think it was Linda, yeah, and it made perfect sense for Linda. So it might be the same thing where you and the Aquarius have known each other before in past lives, and you are reconnecting in this life for whatever reasons. And let's just say the storyline for that already exists, okay? So what, if you don't mind, I'd like to pull another card for you. Okay, I'm just going to do it automatically, because it's like you're going to have the luxury of almost like having two readings. Even though that last one was specific for Linda, the actual reading from the book itself is universal. Okay, so please accept another card. So you know, you and the Aquarius could be doing a lot of learning together in different lives and different past lives, and now you are here today in this life, and it's very clear that it is a past life relationship that has resurfaced again in this lifetime. And so what do we do now? It looks like it's still a serious problem for two people who have loved each other enough to, you know, have a passionate interaction and make a baby, but he is still showing signs of wandering off. And that indicates that there's a lot of past life issues that have not yet been healed or resolved enough to get to the point where you could have, like, the actual biological father with the biological mother in a very healthy way, which is, of course, the ideal scenario for the child. We have to think of the child here, okay, Tanisha? You know, I'm hoping that the child was conceived in love, and now we're moving on from there, and we grow and mature from there. So I'm pulling you another card. I'm working here from the assumption that there is love in your life, and you're coming from a loving perspective, okay, Tanisha? And you only want what's the best for yourself and the child and for the Aquarius. And if it turns out that he's not going to be around, then so be it. It sounds like you're already mature enough to understand that. If they can't handle being a father and being with you, even though they are an actual biological parent, then that's their problem, okay? And they can learn. You guys can learn from each other in a different lifetime. But in the meantime, just because he's walking away and he's not present, it doesn't mean he's not a parent or he's not a father. He is biologically a parent and a father forever now. So how he deals with it is going to be a lifelong lesson, okay, for him. And he's going to learn that in the context of schooling, in the context of the Tanisha baby school, the Tanisha and child school. So it's not going to go away, okay? Thank you, Fritterly. It's beautiful. Here we go. Let's have a look. I have no idea what's going to show up here, Tanisha. Hoping it makes sense for you. Oh, this is beautiful. The situation is calling for you to have faith. Okay? This is because when I started pulling your cards into your reading, I started to feel this very kind of earthy, grounded, common sense, very practical, loving mother type of energy, where you're taking everything exactly as it is. Okay? You're coming from love, but you're also understanding that there are things that don't work and that are not working. So I feel that this card is very appropriate. The situation is calling for you to have faith. I think this has huge implications. I know it's just one tiny card on one little tarot channel, and it might be, you know, you might just see this as entertainment, but I think this is a very profound message for you, okay? Here is your reading. It says here, in response to your situation, the romance angels ask you to trust that everything is exactly as it needs to be. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, Tanisha, before I go on with the rest of the book, you know how I do, if you've watched the channel a lot, I often say things like, everything is exactly as it should be. Why? How? Because it can't be any other way. That's just the laws of physics. It's just how things are. How we perceive them might be totally another thing, though. Things are the way they are, and that's just how it is. Whether we handle it or not, it's another thing. So let's go back to your reading. I'll do the same thing again. Let's have a look. In response to your situation, the romance angels ask you to trust that everything is exactly as it needs to be. Do not add fear to the situation, which will only create drama and negativity. Instead, the angels ask you to release your worries to them. Okay? They are on your side. It's almost like everything is exactly as it should be. In other words, it's part of your journey, like your life. Your present situation is here to bring you blessings and personal growth, leading to the beautiful romantic love you so deeply desire and deserve, including in the context of being a mother of a child and a parent, in a relationship dynamic where the father and the parent of the child is essentially looking to show signs of absence. You trust anyway, okay? As you follow the pathway that you are currently on, trust that it is leading you in the right direction, even though it might not look that way, okay? Your faith uplifts your energy, which in a turn attracts positive experiences and people, including your romantic partner. This is truly a situation where, with faith, all things are possible. It is amazing what happens, Tanisha, with trust. And when you do hand over your problems to heaven, your angels, to God, to your guardian angels, and you ask for them to fill your life with love from up above. So you're not living at the mercy of your expectations about what the Aquarius fellow is going to do. It's almost like don't worry about him at all. Just, you don't have to think about it at all. You just have to take care of Tanisha and understand that it looks like you're going to be a parent, and you're going to possibly be a single parent, but that is not going to stop you from being very loving and very loved and having a lovely child and having the things that you need. There's every likelihood that, like with the energy of trust here, that things work out. There's a friend of mine, someone I love very deeply, who constantly tells me everything turns out perfectly. Everything. Okay? It's sometimes very hard to accept, but in so many ways I'm learning, over the years that this is true. I'm learning more and more. It's very hard for me because I have a lot of issues with trust myself, and breach of trust and abuse issues and things like that, which make it sometimes extremely hard for me as a person to trust in other people and other relationships. So to me, this is actually kind of a sweet reading. It's almost like, to me it feels as though you're surrounded in kind of like a force field, like you've got some kind of loving vibration thing. You're very clear. I think it feels to me like you're very clear and you understand the limitations and the challenges of your situation, but that has not going to stop you from being the mother of a child and bringing love into your life and into the world of the child. I think it's a beautiful thing. I really do. I mean, it's very strange, honestly, for me, Tanisha, being here, to sense such a strong aura of love in this situation, even though it doesn't make sense. It's almost like the reading is nothing to do with the Aquarius person at all. It's all about you trusting that everything is exactly as it should be, because it can't be any other way, and understanding that you are loving and that you are loved. You've created a new human being, a beautiful thing in this world, okay? And you go from there, knowing that you are loving and that you are loved. And you just trust the process. You have to believe it to see it, okay? It's a beautiful thing, Tanisha. Thank you for being here. Next up, we have Lily. Lily Mateus, are you here? Lily Mateus, are you still here? Let's just check in. I have about 45 seconds on the delays. I'm just going to check. Lily wants the romance angels as well. Okay, so I'm counting. Just going to double check here. Okay, and then after Lily, we're going to read for Karma Flores. And after Karma Flores, we're going to read for Incognito 11. That's if you guys are still here. So I'm going to be checking, I'm going to be checking in on the screen, seeing who's typing in or not. Okay? So if you're still here and you still want your reading, you got to let me know in the very near future. In the meantime, we're waiting for Lily Mateus for Romance Angels, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to shuffle up. Hello, Lily. If you're still here, please type it in. Thank you. Just clearing things. Just clearing things. Karma Flores is here. Good. And what about Lily? Lily, are you still here? Julia Savita. Hello, Julia Savita. Thank you for dropping in. Okay, I'm going to move over to Karma Flores, who also wants the Romance Angels. Lily doesn't seem to be here anymore, so I'm going to move on. I'll put Lily over here just in case she just went off and something. And then if she doesn't show up after that one, then we'll move straight on to Incognito. And then, yeah, we'll see how we're going to go, okay? Because we've done quite a few readings already, and I've got a few more. These are all the backup readings so far. I don't know if they're still here because, you know, people come and go. You have to be very patient. So we've got Gigi Valdez. We've got Sadia Sadiq. These are all the backups, okay? Different colored Post-its. And we've got Capricorn Girl. We've got Sonia P. We've got Felicia Berkeley. And we've got Janine White. Those are all people who want backups. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. So I'll put you here, Megastar. Chances are we're not going to get to you, but we'll do it anyway. Put you on just in case. Just in case. Alright, we have so many people lined up who want a reading. I can't, well, I'm just going to say thank you very much. Lily, I'm sorry, maybe come back next week, okay, Lily? Thank you, bye-bye. Karma Flores, you're up, and Incognito just said that she wants Nature's Whispers. Nature's Whispers, okay, here we go. Excellent choice. Alright, Karma Flores. So if you have some things you want to type in the screen, let us know, and we'll see if we can get some messages for you. In other words, hey, I'm Karma Flores. What are the messages that you have for me today, Tarot Illumination, regarding the subject matter in Romance Angels about ... A person, a situation, the dynamics, divorces, separation, singlehood, whatever it might be, confusion, things not working, whatever it is. If you could put in a couple of words, then if you want to do that. I don't mind going blind. I don't mind going completely blind. But today it seems like we've had a lot of very kind of precise interaction with people. So I'm kind of going with the flow of that. So Incognito, you're here, I see you, and you're going to be next up after Karma Flores. Okay? Who is my soulmate? How does he feel about me? Okay. So we're talking about an energy that's like not there in your life right now. So if you don't mind, dear people, because I take quite a bit of time with the readings anyway, just for one card, with actually, you know, let me do this. All right, so just stay there, okay? Stay there. I'm going to pull a card, and if it doesn't make sense, I have a backup idea. Let's see, here we go. Okay. So, this is actually kind of a confusing card for a lot of people. You'll see why once I start reading from it, okay? Lily is here. Oh, hold on. Oh, jeepers. Where is it? Ashley's gone. Okay, so it must be this one. You're still there? Hold on, let me just make sure I've got this. Okay, yeah, that was lucky, Lily. You almost missed it out. I have salvaged your magic post-it note, so you will be after. We'll do it like that, okay? Okay. So it says here, so this might not be what you might expect or want to hear. It says it is time to disconnect from the world. So Karma Flores, so let me show you something here. I have my personal feelings that I'd like to share with you in a moment, but I'm just going to read the book here. The romance angels see that your love life blossoms as you spend time alone, particularly by yourself. Okay? It appears that you have become confused or conflicted by other people's intentions, advices, and energy fields. It's time for you to disconnect with all of it, okay? So that you can better hear your own feelings and opinions, okay? So, give me a second, okay? So dear Karma Flores, so you know how you can just keep living life and living life and living life, and you have expectations and things. What I'm asking you to do here, this is an awkward card, because what it's telling me is to use this analogy that I use a lot because it's so similar to what happens in human life. If you think of yourself as a computer, you know, I don't know if you have a proper, I guess you have a laptop, or maybe you're working off your smartphone, but sometimes things get so messed up with all the softwares, the applications, the operating system, the hard drive, the memory, the chip, the storage systems, that everything starts to become gooped up. And you get to a point where you're trying to fix that, but you can't because this is screwed up, and you can't fix that because that's screwed up, and that's screwed up. Every single layer is kind of screwed up, messed up. It is less than optimal. And it happens very frequently for me over here because I put a huge amount of pressure on my studio, my recording systems, my channel, my broadcasting. And so if I don't keep all my systems in really, really optimal, pristine condition, things start to like degrade and degenerate really, really quickly. Like programs crash, and then I start thinking, well, why is that? Well, I'm going to blame Microsoft, or I should call, it's probably Dell, or it could be Dell Computers, or it could be, YouTube or anything. It's so easy, okay? But in the end, what I learned, what I'm still learning the hard way, is that I have to do the work on myself first. And that means often diving in, literally going on a retreat with myself. It's like going inside the computers, going in my life, looking at my relationships, the activities, my timing, my schedule, all of that. And I have to look at it as though I'm not me. Okay? And I have to look at it as though I was some kind of supervisor, inspector, observing the life of Terra Lumination. Like, let's have a look. Where is things going wrong? Let's have a look. We have a problem here. Well, you need to fix that. We have a problem over here. You need to fix that. It's your problem. It's your computer. It's your operating system. All of it. So you end up. So let's go back to the retreat energy. The whole idea with the retreat is like, it's like with a computer, you get to the point where there's no point in trying to fix each thing anymore because everything is so messed up. You have to do what you could call a complete factory reboot, a complete factory reset, like you do them on smartphones. If it gets so messed up, you can go inside your smartphone and click something called factory reset. Bam! And it wipes everything out, and then you start from scratch. It's like having a brand new phone. So that's what I think is the message that's coming here for you. It's time for you to do this retreat thing. And it doesn't mean you necessarily have to, spend $3,000 and fly over to India or Tibet and then live in a mountain for 3 months. It can be simply that you take some time out for yourself, and you go on, you deliberately go into a condition where it's just you with you, okay? Forget about the other people. Okay, hold on. Who is your soulmate? And so it's almost like, who is your soulmate? How does he feel about you? Okay? So when you put in something like that, it's a very legitimate question, but it puts you in a position of very little power. because it's almost like you're living your life as though you don't have any say in the matter. Whereas if you go onto a retreat kind of thing, you can like reboot yourself and figure out, who am I? What do I really want? What are my desires? What are my wishes? What do I deserve? All these kinds of things, okay? It says here, it's time for you to disconnect so that you can better hear your own feelings and voice and opinions and know thyself better than ever before. So if you are in a partnership, which sounds like you're not, spending time together apart from other people will renew your commitment and take it to the next level. Okay, taking vacations, all of that kind of stuff, okay? I'm going to scroll straight on here. Now, if you're presently single, this card guides you to spend time by yourself. Excuse me. Normally my phone's in airplane mode. Thank you. Sorry about that. Hey, Karma Flores, I'm back. I don't know if you heard that, but my phone went off. Normally I put it into airplane mode. It's time to disconnect from the world. So if you're presently single, this card is guiding you to spend time by yourself, meditating upon your true feelings and true thoughts and true nature, learning yourself more than ever before, as opposed to like looking outside of yourself to the world for answers and solutions that cannot be solved externally. Be sure to take action based on any intuitive guidance. This strengthens your energy, which helps you to rapidly attract and manifest your loving partner. And so you would actually start to attract using the laws of attraction. Okay, as opposed to like basically being powerless and wondering what's going on out there. You go internal. You start to take full ownership of your life as though you're like a computer, and the computer has all sorts of conflicted ideas and softwares and everything, and you decide, you go into a retreat into yourself, learn. It's a process. It takes a lot of work to learn how to get into the retreat energy, because it feels very lonely. It could feel like you start seeing aspects of yourself that you don't want to see. You start learning about yourself in ways that you don't want to do, but it has to be done, because that's how you get a greater and greater chance of living a more authentic life and getting, like for example, you could go into some retreats that are very, very active. Again, like we talked earlier about creating dream boards, for example. Who would be, what are the characteristics of a loving partner and of a soulmate? And when would be there? What would they look like? And so on. So for example, you could create a list of priorities. What is it that I want? A family, kids, security? What is it? Do I want extra money? Do I want someone who's going to pay for everything and I just become a mom? Or do I want someone who's going to let me go off and have a career and they can be a Mr. Mom and we'll have kids or not? Or what are the priorities? Sometimes it's very much more spiritual. For example, some people prioritize things like, I want kindness, consideration, respect, quality time together, privacy time where you get a good chance of me time, okay, proper Karma Flores time where you don't have to worry about anyone else or anything, and commitment, okay, and trust and honesty. Those are kind of like 10 really, really vital ingredients that you would have to have for almost anything. So I would put all of those on the list already. I would create some kind of, relationship, big question, put big question marks on there. Do something artistic, create big question marks, and write out those 10 fundamental things that you have to have, whoever it is. And then go into the next level, like, how do I feel about culture? Do they have to come from the same town? Do they have to come from the same religion? Do they have to come from the same church? Do they have to come from the same country? All those kinds of things. And just build a layer so you can start to create a painting. And that's sort of like creating a relationship dream board. But you do that by going deep within. like into a retreat, like lock yourself in your bedroom, and start, you know, I mean, meditating is honestly quite boring for a lot of people. I mean, it's fine, but to me it feels like an active meditation would be really good, where you get your hands onto things like the way I do things here, like with post-it notes and pencils and paper and fun and projects, and you give yourself permission to make a big mess and then tear it up again and make it better the next time, and then keep doing that until you clean and clarify your system, just like learning how to reboot a computer, or just how to fix all your own operating systems inside of you. But you do that in the context of a very personal, private, singular retreat where it's just you hanging out with you. Okay? It might feel uncomfortable at first. You might be very gregarious and you just love being with friends and family, and then having to go into a retreat is just like, no, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. Well, that's exactly the thing that we need to do. Okay? All of the best, Karma. You can do it. You can do it. So I'm going to shuffle this away. Put this one away. And Lily is here. Lily is here, so we're going to read for Lily now. Whew. God, that was lucky. You can see that your post-it note almost didn't make it. Here we go. And then after Lily, we're going to do Incognito. Lily wants the Romance Angels too. Okay. All right, so okay, so we're going to get to you, Incognito. Don't worry, we got you over here. And then after that, we'll see what happens. I got you, Lily. I see you. So, Lily, if there's a certain issue that you want to deal with, and you want to type it in on the screen really quickly, okay? So, like, in other words, what are the messages that Tarot Illumination has for me today through the Romance Angels deck regarding the subject of ... in my love life? Whatever that might be. If you could put a few words. Today seems to be one of those days where we're getting like precision type of notes from the viewers, as opposed to sometimes I like to go big and wide. All right, let's have a look here. So what have we got? Lily Mateus, what do we have? If you've got any notes for me, type them in right now, please. Anyway, I see you guys are having fun chatting amongst yourselves. Hey, Topaz Zen, greetings. I just saw you. Hello, greetings. I'm just waiting to see if there's any notes coming in from Lily. Okay. Well, who's that? Trump is king. It says, Trump is king. Stop this sorcery madness immediately. You have no idea what kind of evil you are unleashing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Okay, it says here, Lily from notes. The subject of family and fertility in a new partner or an old one. Okay, family and fertility. Family and fertility, okay. New partner or old one. It's almost like, let's not even talk about new partner or old one, okay? Because it's really, from the way I read it on the screen, it's really about you and the fertility. The idea of having a family at all, you know. Whether it's with a new partner or a pre-existing partner. Let's have a look. Let's see what happens here. Fertility, what's that about? About reading the post-it notes. I forgive you. Don't worry, because my handwriting isn't exactly perfect. This says Incognito 11. Okay. And they're getting the Nature's Whispers. This one says Lily Mateus. I know it's kind of got scrunched up, but I'm just reading it out to you. All right, here we go. For Lily, regarding family and fertility. New partner or old one, we'll see. Okay, so we're going to dedicate this little card here towards a message regarding family and fertility. Let's see what shows up. And we could have used a very different deck for this, by the way, Lily. Let's have a look. Wedding. Okay, this situation involves marriage. Okay, now don't necessarily think about you know, like just because of this picture. Have you ever heard of that famous English actor called Colin Firth? I think this fellow looks just like Colin Firth. Now I don't know who this would be. Maybe Emma Stone or Scarlett Johansson. I'm not sure. Okay. So there's a very strong energy of family here. Let me just show you. So I'm just going to read from the book and then we'll play with it a bit. Okay. You drew this card because of an upcoming wedding or someone else's or yours. It comes to you because marriage plays a role in the answer to your question. Okay. So regarding family and fertility, perhaps this is an indication already that the idea of family and fertility, in other words, you becoming a mother and having a child, is contingent upon having a traditional situation of a marriage. In other words, where you're actually legally contracted with another partner who's going into the relationship with you on the understanding that family and fertility is important for you. So this looks like a very, the message here is that it looks like let's say if your desire is to have family and to be fertile and have a child, it looks like the indication is here is that we're looking at, for things to work out, it's probably most optimal if it's done in a very traditional way, you know, where you are with someone was with you, and they commit to you knowing that they're getting deep into the world of family, marriage, and parenting, okay? Not a lot of guys want that. There are a lot of guys who they think they want it, and they're like, oh, I'm going to be the most passionate lover ever, but as soon as it gets to like contracts and rings and commitments and financial obligations and, you know, a lifetime of being a parent in a traditional family setting, that's a lot of pressure for a lot of guys. And there are a lot of guys who don't really ask girls to get married so much anymore these days because they're terrified of the costs and obligations and commitments of becoming a father and having a traditional family and getting married in a very public scenario where everybody knows, okay? And statistically, marriage and weddings in America, Lily, where are you, by the way? In America, marriage and weddings are, 50% have 50% chance of failure. So anyway, for some people, this card could be a validation that you will get married and asks that you keep the faith and continue enjoying your life without worrying about your future marital status. In other words, it's just like for the conditions are best for you when you have a traditional thing like a marriage, okay? It says here, for others, this card can signal that you will meet a significant other at an upcoming wedding or experience something there that will lead to new romance to you. Have you ever been through that phase in your life when all your buddies are getting married and then a few years later there's a whole bunch of divorces? I don't know about you, but I've been there, okay? It can also represent your parents' marriage and the way that it affects your feelings and beliefs about future relationships and family and parenting and fertility, all of that stuff, okay? Okay, you're in St. Augustine, Florida. Okay, so you're in the United States, so you are very, very aware, dear Lily, that if you want to do the traditional thing, family, fertility, marriage, and kids, we're looking at a traditional type of setting here, and when it works, it's by far the best thing. It's fantastic when it works. It's just that it's a big commitment. In a few cases, this card asks you to look at your present and past relationships and review your feelings with the intention of healing your heart and your relationships, okay? Perhaps it might be time to enlist a counselor. Sometimes this card can signal the end of a relationship. And then you have to get back into a renewal about getting back into the idea of committing to new love and new relationship, but doing it in a formal way so that you can kind of get back on your game. So you mentioned something about an old partner or a new partner. To me, it feels irrelevant whether there's an old partner or a new partner. My feeling is that like having a contractual relationship between yourself and a partner who is committed to being a partner and a father and a parent and having a family and doing it by a contract in a marriage, okay? That's what this looks like. And so to me that would imply that you can't just like go around getting pregnant, not like it's just all your fault whether you get pregnant or not, or whether it's like becoming a parent is a huge deal. Also, by the way, I think you can get very, I don't know what your healthcare plan is like, Lily, but I think it's possible to get some very affordable fertility tests to find out your level of fertility, whether you're low, medium, or high, because different women have different levels of fertility and the ability to conceive and have kids. Okay, so that is something that you can do on your own. You don't have to wait till you become impregnated to find out whether you're fertile. You can be very, very, it sounds very kind of, unromantic and very like clinical to go to a doctor and ask for a fertility test, but it is something to consider in this reading, okay? Okay? Mm-hmm. Lily, I hope that made sense to you. To me it looks like it's about getting really, really solid and very practical about being who you are, what you want, and the way you want things to be. So, like, parenting sometimes and having kids is not very romantic at all. Sometimes it's just a huge amount of work, okay? And if you're very interested in the idea of having a family and being a parent, this is a good time to start practicing. In other words, go to a doctor, go to your healthcare provider and say, listen, I really want to get married and have a family. I need to find out first, how fertile am I? Please, can you help me? I would like to go into that before I even consider dating or marriage with a new person or a previous person. Thank you very much. Dive right into the fertility issue, straight in on it. It's clinical. It's nothing romantic at all. But it means you taking charge about your part of the equation of being a parent and having a family. So you do that in a very methodical, practical way. And then you're one step closer to things like family and fertility and childhood, having a child and all of that. So I would take care of the fertility issue first, and don't leave it to chance. Don't just wait until somebody like pounces on you like, I am your soulmate, I am your twin flame, let me do you now. No, take charge of it. Because if you're going to have a family and be a mother, it's huge amounts of work back and forth to doctors and clinics, babysitters, feeding, and all of that stuff, having to recruit friends and family to help and support. It's a huge, huge amount of work and commitment. So start right at the very beginning, check the fertility, and then make it very clear that you need to operate in a very healthy, loving family, marriage, traditional, classic kind of structure where the father is equally committed. That's what I'm sensing here. Okay. Thank you, Lily. I'm glad you stayed in. Thank you very much. Have a look. Let's have a look. Hey, Path, I just saw you. Hey, Topaz Zen, I think I said hi. Good, Lily, you're doing the right thing. Start thinking about it now. Incognito, you're up. So we have a message from Nature's Whispers. I think this is this card, this is a beautiful deck, and it's all about, to me it's tapping into, let me make a little astro doodle here for you. Dear Incognito, that was Linda's doodle. Thank you very much, Linda, that was fun. Over here, I'm just going to make a little chart. I'm just making a very simplistic universal chart here. Right now in the heavens, we have Pluto and Saturn over here up in Capricorn. And we have Uranus in Taurus over here. Neptune is in Pisces over here. And what I'm noticing here is that these energies, this is a very, very loose chart. I don't know if any of other astrologers who operate the way I do, and I don't really care. But when I look at this is very nutritious energy here. It's working very well with itself and each other. So when we take these big planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and they're working in a very harmonious ways, like this, this is very nutritious, okay? Now if we add Saturn into it as well, that multiplies, okay? It adds to the nutrition here, and because it's such a very dominant earthy energy with all this earth, and some water, to me that feels very much about nature. So when I do this reading, it's very much about tuning into nature in a very, like, you know, raw nature way, and what the message is that's coming to you from nature. Hey Fritali, it sounds like you have a very, very busy schedule right now. Yeah, so if you gotta take a nap, all of that. Okay, what messages do we have here for Incognito from Nature's Whispers? If there's a particular subject matter for Incognito and that you would like us to address here, please type it in. We've been doing that for the whole show. I don't know why. I don't normally do that, but it seems to start it started to go that way. So if you want to address a particular message, what are the messages from Nature's Whispers that are coming to me today regarding the subject of ... Okay? What's this? Virtually someone with the name Trumpy is calling this sorcery. I thought that was a joke. Okay, does that mean my channel is getting attacked yet again? Oh dear. Oh dear. Thank you, Fritali. I'm sick of the channel getting attacked. I don't know what to do. Alright, Incognito. I'm just going to pull your card anyway. I don't see any notes here on the screen. I did a very extreme cut. Okay, here is your card. Wow, it's a beautiful card. It says, the culmination of vision. Okay, what is spirit manifesting in my life? Career, prosperity, success, question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay? Alright, so let's have a look. Regarding career, prosperity, and success, what is spirit bringing for you? Okay, it says here, the culmination of a vision. So that's very encouraging before we even start reading or talking about this. So can you see the strong integration of energy with nature here? If you can imagine yourself like very, very strongly and deeply rooted to this earth, whether you like it or know it or not, and you're drawing a lot of energy from earth energy coming into you and through you, and you're starting to, appear to you, like you start to see earth reflecting back to you the visions that you had from inside. And like if you have beautiful visions here, like in her case it's butterflies, and to me there's looked like younger incarnations of yourself over here. There's a beautiful epic landscape. What I'm sensing here, before we even read from the book, hold on. To me this is very encouraging, because it's like there's something, how sap rises in a tree. Okay, it's happening in a very natural, organic way. It doesn't happen very quickly, but it happens and grows. It's very hard to watch trees growing, but they do grow. And I think that's what's happening here. You're actually getting to the point where you can actually see, you're starting to see glimpses of your own visions reflected back to you from your environment. Okay, whatever it is you have in mind for career, prosperity, success. You're starting to see like images, glimpses, like some kind of like reflection, something coming back to you. Let's have a look. Let's look to the book. Hold on. Let's see what she says here. All right, it says here, it's time to take positive action toward your goals and dreams. Be adaptable and fine-tune any of the details of what you are creating. Okay, so going back to what I was saying just a moment ago on the personal screen, now that you're getting a glimpse, okay, to me it feels like there are little tiny glimpses, sparkles, indications out there regarding career, prosperity, and success, and you're getting something out there. But what this reading is suggesting here is that now you're getting glimpses of that. It's time to respond. So you create what I think of as a positive energy feedback loop. So you start feeding energy into the vision, your own visions coming back to you. So you foster your own visions coming into truth. Okay? Be adaptable and fine-tune any of the details of what you are creating. This could almost be going back to the theme we've had a few times today about creating a vision board. They had a dream board, a relationship board, but in your case it might be a vision board, okay? Reflect on your desires and make sure that your attitudes and beliefs are in alignment with that which is you want to accomplish, okay? Let go of any aspect or quality that no longer fits what you intend to accomplish. So there might be some Virgo type of influences here, where it's time to refine, clarify, purify, whatever has to be done in the manifestation of your vision. I'm not saying you can just take a magic wand and kind of go poof, and then all your dreams and desires and prosperity and success will happen. To me, this looks like literally like being an artist in residence, where you have access to a bunch of materials in front of you, and you're starting to realize it. You know how some artists, hold on, let me do this in person. In other words, you don't necessarily have to have like a fine art degree to be an artist, okay? Or you don't necessarily have to have like, a 4-year, like $250,000 business degree to make these things happen. All I'm suggesting is like work with what you've got, who you are, your vision, and you start creating a vision board, identifying it as who am I? What do I want? What are my priorities? What are my skill sets? What are my goals? What are my ambitions? What is realistically attainable now in the next month, in the next 6 months, in the next year? Where would I like to be 1 year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Do it like they do in corporations, where they build out, how corporations are going to grow. In other words, they don't just sit there like the CEO of blah blah huge corporation. They don't just sit there kind of going like, oh wow, I wonder what's going to happen next. I think I'm going to go wander around the factory floor. I'm going to go hang out with some of the employees. Like, hey, what are you up to? Do you want to get a break over at the coffee machine and have some cookies or something? That's not what CEOs do. So if think of yourself as being the CEO of your life, where like nothing is going to happen unless you take charge. Okay? And so you have to look at it from a very executive type of perspective. Identify, just like they do like in business classes, business development classes, okay? Where like identifying your skills, identifying your talents, identifying your weaknesses. It's very, very important to do things like identify the things where you're going to need help. Identify the competition. Identify the resources that you have already. Identify the resources that you don't have that you know you need to succeed and prosper. Do you need more qualifications? Do you need more, do you need like a business startup loan? Do you need a partner? Do you need some kind of extra qualifications or training that you don't have? Whatever it is, all of that has to be put down in a very three-dimensional, like a very Capricorn type of way. This is how we're going to do it, and this is, we need to find what works, what doesn't work. It's a very, very much like a corporate executive approach, okay? So that's what I would suggest. Literally, however you do it, literally get something which is about this kind of shape, and either stick it on your wall somewhere or put it on your bed or something and sit on your bed with a bunch of, plastic things, a bunch of markers, and just start scribbling stuff and create more and more and more structure. You know how they do things? Hold on, let me do something. I'm going to stay with me. I'm going to do another thing for you incognito. You know when we're doing like these vision board things? You know how you can do things like, okay, we have to start from here. You could either, maybe put yourself at the center. Aha, I am the CEO of my life, and I am incognito 11. That's you. And you're like, where do I want to be? Over here. Where did I come from? Over here. What are my assets? And they kind of do all these boxes, People do these things and they connect this one with that one. And then this goes over to here to another box. And then this goes over to here to another box. And then you talk about money over here. And everything's done in this it looks like one of those Microsoft spreadsheets, or what do they call them? Like those presentations, PowerPoint. You kind of make your own PowerPoint presentation to yourself. And then this one connects to here, and then to here, through this blob here, here, and here, and you can't do that without this one. And this one goes over to there, and then that connects to here. So that's how you do it. Okay? So there's your vision board. That's how you do it. I hope that helps incognito, but seriously, vision boards, creation boards, like we've had a lot of this. The whole show has been full of this stuff today, so let's just keep rolling with it. I hope this makes sense to you. It's really worth putting in the time and the energy to make a start like this, okay? Seriously. Your vision is your life. Okay, so how you could do that? Do I want to do something spiritual? Do I want to do something spiritual and practical? Do I want to turn spirituality into a business? Do I want to, however it is, but you have to do that. No one's going to do that for you. You're going to have to create your own vision board for your career, prosperity, and success. Okay? And just like they do with the really top leaders, you have to be prepared like every month. If you make simple ones like this, every month you take the same vision board and then you do the improvements. Okay, so this will change. You start with one vision board, very simple, and then every month you create another vision board and keep it going. Certain things will stay in place, but a lot of other things will change as you go. Okay? All right, so there we go. Incognito, thank you very much. So guess what? I don't know if anyone's still here, but I do feel enough time and energy to be able to do a couple more readings. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to go through the backup, the yellow post-it notes. Okay? Oh, it says here, I have journals and vision boards. Okay. So it looks to me like you're going to have to take it to the next level. You're going to have to become much more acute and precise and take on a very much more what I would call like a Capricorn perspective. Like you're going to have to tap into the Capricorn part of your life, your chart. Somewhere in your chart there is a Capricorn degree, okay? And I think that's what's being triggered here. The energy of success, prosperity, career, that's very much to do with what we were talking about. So I would check out wherever it is in your chart where you have the Capricorn element in your chart. That's where that's what we're dealing with, okay? I'd also look at my astrology chart if I was you, and I would look very closely. Okay, I'm going to do this one over here. Actually, no. For you, incognito. I'm just going to keep doing this again. So, incognito. Let's just say this is a chart again, okay? I don't know if you do anything with astrology, but what I'm asking you to do, dear incognito, is a couple of things. If you could go get your chart and discover where in your chart do you have the Capricorn degrees from 0 degrees to 30 degrees. There's going to be somewhere in your chart. And I don't know where that's going to be. Okay, it could be anywhere. You know, depending on your sun sign. Somewhere in your chart, you're going to have a Capricorn sector. Okay? So it could be over here, or here, or here, or here. But anyway, go to your chart and find out what that is. The next thing is go to your chart. This is task number 1. Task number 2, go here to this point. See this little point here? It will show up on your chart. It's called the midheaven. Go to that point on your chart and study that point very, very carefully, okay? If you don't have Capricorn in your chart with the planets, you still have Capricorn in your chart with a sector. So I'm very curious about what that is. But this is the thing. If you go to your chart, look to the midheaven. It'll say something like, it could be any sign, whatever sign it is and whatever kind of degree. Let's say it's Sagittarius 12, okay? Or maybe it is Aquarius 20. Whatever it is, look for this midheaven point right here, okay? All charts have it, okay? Whatever the rest of it, don't worry about the rest of it. Forget about the Capricorn for now because you don't have any planets there. So I would concentrate, study this area of your chart. Go to your chart, figure that out, find the midheaven and study that very carefully. All right, thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to go to the emergency backup. Post-it notes, people. All right, so here we go. Now, I don't know if anyone... Gigi Valdez, are you still here? I'm going to put a bunch of names on the screen really quickly because it's already much later and a lot of you probably had to disappear. Okay. Look, there's a Capricorn girl right there. Okay, you're a Taurus sun with a Taurus north node and sun with Leo rising. Okay, from my perspective right now, then the chances are your sun would be in the... Oh, that's a dead giveaway. You've already kind of given me a huge number of clues there. So with you, dear incognito, okay, this is just going to be really super quick. Okay, if you've got Leo rising over here, and you are a Taurus sun with the Taurus North Node, okay, what happens is when you have a Leo rising sign, okay, over here, by definition, on a whole sign traditional Western chart, you have Taurus ruling the 10th house, okay? And the 10th house is represented by the Capricorn energy. So even though you don't have any Capricorn planets in your chart, you have a very powerful 10th house placement, okay? When you have, it says, the Sun, and you said you have the North Node in Taurus as well over here. So this is a very powerful placement and indication for you that career, prosperity, and success is fundamental to your life. It doesn't mean you're just going to have it. It means it's a very, very, it is the number one issue in your life, okay? This is the 10th house. Okay, it is the Capricorn house. It is the Saturn house. It means it takes a long time and a lot of work to, let's say, climb the corporate ladder of success and have the prosperity and the recognition and the rewards and accolades that you deserve. This is the long, slow pathway. Luckily, Taurus can handle that. Also, when you have Sun conjunct the North Node, that's going to give you like an almost intense, like drug addict drive, like being like a junkie for wanting success, career, and prosperity, okay? Because the North Node is a very, very tempting energy. So in some ways you're very lucky to have the Sun conjunct the North Node like that, but it means that you might be one of these people who is extremely driven and you want so much and you want it so now that when you don't have it all, when you need it now, when you feel you deserve it, it can feel very frustrating. So with the Leo rising here, my feeling is that it could be that your success and prosperity and career might have some kind of public aspect to it. Like you might, maybe you're some kind of public figure and you don't mind being on a stage or in the lights or performing or doing things that require you to be very, very much like a very lively, inspiring, entertaining, fun person to be with in whatever it is you feel like your career might be, okay? So I hope that helped you. I'm just going to keep going here. Sadia is still here. Look at that. I've got more. I've got Megastar over here. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like Gigi is gone. I think Gigi had to disappear, otherwise she'd be here. So I'm going to put that aside. Sadia is still here. Sadia wants a reading from the Gaia deck, so that's what we're going to do. Janine White is here. Okay, cool. That's great. I'm only going to take a few, by the way, so don't get too excited, people. So I'm going to put all of this. I'm going to kind of do it in the order that I typically do these things. Dia, and then Felicia over here, and then so we're going to read. I don't know who's here. All right. Hey, Jamie Chow. It's basically little oracles. We're doing little single solitary oracles, but they have a lot of punch. They have a lot of impact. Right now, we know that Sadia is here. We know that Janine is here. Janine, can you tell us what kind of deck that you would like? Okay. It looks like Capricorn Girl and Sonia and Gigi have already disappeared because I don't see them. Okay. So I'm going to put... Okay, so Gigi, if you're here, let me know. Capricorn, if you're here, let me know. Sonia, if you're here, let me know. I'm just going to put these to the side for the moment because I'm only going to work with people who I know are here. Okay? Did Megastar say they're still here? I can't remember. Anyway, right up right now. Actually, I'm going to do this very, very discreetly. Let me do this in the way that I was sensing earlier. Hold on. Give me a second here. I have my little strange ways. Okay, so these are the backups that I have right now. Okay, in this order, but the ones that I know are here for sure. Okay. So let's have a look. We're going to read for Sadia right now regarding the with the Gaia deck, and then Janine regarding. Now we could do Love Life, like you said. But what I might do is give myself the luxury of pulling another deck for you that we haven't used today, which I think would be fun to do, which would be the Gaia deck. Actually, we're going to do that right now. So give me a second. I'm going to put you aside over here, Janine. Okay? I don't know if I'm going to get to you, Jamie. We'll see. Because I've got all these folks in front of you, but if they've already gone home because it's too late, then we'll see. So I'm going to set them aside. Right now I'm focusing on Sadia, and then we're going to do Janine. I'll see how I feel after that. Alright, so I've got the Gaia deck. So this is a really good deck for bringing everything down to earth. He speaks in a very commanding tone, very specific, unambiguous language, okay? Hold on, I see someone there, Jamie Chow. So we might have lost 5 other people in the backup list, but we still have Sadia and we still have Janine. Janine has issues about the heart and life and love, but I'm probably going to pull a different deck. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Thanks, Janine. Give me a second. Actually, I'm going to put these back on the screen, otherwise I feel like I'm not being fair. So if anyone's watching this, Gigi, if any of you guys are watching, Gigi, Capricorn Girl, Sonia P, Felicia, or Megastar, if you're there, please let me know, because I will, put you back here on the list for some readings. But right now, the only 2 that I'm aware of are Sadia and Janine, and Jamie is hovering in the background. So I'm going to put this one over here. I'm going to leave this one blank for Jamie Chow, just in case we get there. We'll see. I'm just going to put that way over the corner here. All right, Sadia. Cards are well shuffled, so we're just going to go to the last second so that you're a witness. Oops. Oh, I see your card already. The Moonlight Goddess. Okay. Repressed emotions, healing, and reflection. Okay, can you see this really, really divine, beautiful energy here? But can you also see on her face, it's almost like she's locked up. It's almost like she's locked up, unable to express her angelic energy and let it flow. It's very beautiful energy, but it's like it's paralyzed, okay? Paralyzed and unable to flow openly and freely for whatever reason. Let me get to the book here. Okay, here's a message for you. Moonlight Goddess. Okay, it says here, the Moonlight Angel depicted on this card is here to reflect back to you the repressed emotions you have stored inside of you. She is here to heal you through your dreams. But in order for this healing to take place, you must pour out your heart and express how you truly feel. Okay? Do this for yourself and for others. Okay? Remember, all that you repress not only affects you, it also affects those around you, especially those you love the most. It's saying here that it is safe to acknowledge your feelings. It is all right to cry. It's okay, just surrender and let it all go. You are surrounded by love and the healing energies of the goddess. You are eternally loved and eternally protected. When they talk about the goddess, they're talking about Gaia, the earth goddess. All the energy, the natural energy of this earth, which is irrefutable. The earth is what it is. It does what it does. It has no concern about what human beings do. The earth just constantly provides. We have all the sunlight we need, all the water, all the time that we need. It's a question of how do we make use of it. You are eternally loved and eternally protected. In the coming month, you will reflect on the past and you will give thanks and let go of old hurts and disappointments. This sounds like a lot like a big purging, a big releasing of a lot of very pent up, sad, emotional energies that have been repressed for a long time. Only the loving memories you will keep inside of your heart. All the old junk has to be released. Then, once the chambers of your heart are yet again full of light, a new season begins. A new journey, a new joy, a new passion. So, we've talked about this before, Sadia, because, very, very high levels of expectation. You have a very powerful chart of someone who has tremendous capabilities, and then what to do with that. But we also noticed that there were certain parts of the chart that, because there's so much open space there, it can make you feel like, like maybe that part of your life is irrelevant. But when it comes to love and relationship, I don't think that's ever irrelevant. Okay, no matter if there's no aspects there, love and relationship is fundamental to human life. And the way it's talking about here, it's time to let go, and get some healing through your dreams. I mean, that's fine, but the real message that I was sensing with this card is to unlock the emotional, spiritual paralysis. Because, if you've been living in situations where there's intense pressure to conform to certain ways of behavior that are not a good match for your emotional being, and you've had to repress so much energy of your femininity, your womanhood, your natural buoyancy, your natural love and light, it would be okay. Basically, it's what it's saying here. It's okay to cry. It's okay to purge, release all the crap, and perhaps even share it openly with the ones who truly love you, the ones that you could trust to share the story with. Even though it might feel like you're putting yourself at risk, saying things that are forbidden, doing things, thinking things, feeling things that are forbidden in your life, your world, your community, and your culture. You're still a person, and you still have feelings, and they're very powerful, and they need to be expressed. So my feeling is, like with this card, allow yourself to do a purging. It's almost like allow yourself to have a breakdown, allow yourself to cry, because you've got to reveal it to heal it. Crying is actually a very, very powerful tool of self-healing. A lot of people don't like to cry because the build-up and the pressure to the actual event and the experience of crying is absolutely horrible for most people. But afterwards, you get through the other side, it can be a tremendous sense of relief, okay? And that's part of the healing process, okay? Thank you very much, Sadia. I hope this helped you, okay? Okay, so I'm going to put this back in, and next we're going to read for Janine White regarding issues of love. Okay, and she said to keep it open. Thank you, Sadia. Janine, you're up, and I'm going to go check your notes back on the chat. Okay, so I don't see anybody here from these people who showed up, so I'm going to really tuck them way over to the side because now they're just becoming distracting. So I'm going to work with the reality of who we have here, and let's have a look. So I'm going to redo all of these. Now let me put over all these folks here have kind of like they've gone off somewhere else, and so because it takes a long time to wait to get a reading. So at the moment, the people who are still here who would still like one, it looks like there's who's that? Dominique Augustin. Okay, hold on, I'm just checking up things here. There's other people who've arrived. S.O. It sounds like S.O. wants one. Now there's someone else who arrived. Augustine, Jamie Zhao, Sadir, Dominique, and Wild Faye. Augustin. Sounds very French. S.O. So-so. I'm just going to say so-so. I hope you don't mind. And Wild Faye. Who is that? It sounds like, Dominique, you're on the east coast of the United States. So this is what we've got so far. I think that's going to be it, people. I don't think I can handle any more after this. So I'm sorry that all these folks... Anyway. Right now I'm going to read for Janine. Let me go back because I want to check your notes again. Janine, I'm going to take a couple seconds here. So if you could type in the issues again, I forgot what you said. Or maybe I can scroll back through the chat. Let me just check. It's very normal for a lot of people to leave and walk out, so don't worry about it. It's nothing personal. They just had other stuff to do, and sometimes it just takes so long to wait that it's not doesn't make any sense for them. So let me go back. I'm looking for notes for Janine. Hold on here. I got to do this. Okay. Oh, you're in. So Dominic is in Quebec. So let me just show you guys. If you're absolutely brand new here, I have 5 decks. Okay. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 more readings. Okay. I'm going to do 4 more readings. I have 5 decks. I'm going to start off with Janine, and then Jamie, and then Dominique, and then So-So. The 5 decks I have are 1 for regarding your psychic growth and your spiritual advancement. If you're struggling with this, or you're becoming disoriented by becoming more and more psychic, and you need some kind of clarity, we'll focus on this one. If you're already way up in the clouds and like you need to come down to earth, we'll use the Gaia. If you're really like focused heavily on relationship issues, we'll do this deck. If you're struggling with deep internal battles between the self and the ego, or the soul and the ego, we'll work on this one. If you're looking for messages from nature, we'll focus on this one, okay? So, hey Chantal, I don't know if I can handle it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've been reading for quite a few hours already, okay? Jamie, you're next after Janine, but I'm just checking up. So Jamie, what deck would you like? Dominique, what deck would you like? So what deck would you like? Okay? That's all. Janine, I'm going to go scrolling back. I'm going to scroll back and find some notes here from Janine. I'm a Leo Sun. Okay, I'm just reading from the screen. I'm a Leo Sun, Libra Rising, Aquarius Moon. person I'm interested in is a Scorpio Sun, Aquarius rising. Oh, wait a minute. Let me make a little. Hold on. Okay. Fire, air, water, air. Stairs. Aquarius rising. Okay, well, Janine, you've got a strong connection here, okay, because of the rising sign being very harmonious. Like your rising sign, Libra, is very harmonious with the Aquarius rising sign of the other person. Their Sagittarius moon is very comfortable with your Aquarius moon. Your Aquarius moon is lining up with their Aquarius rising. Okay? Your Leo sun is very comfortable with their Sagittarius moon. All of that stuff is really, really sweet. So to me it looks like you have a very strong past life connection already. It's already very clear just from the notes that I see here. You guys have known each other before, okay, because of the lunar connection and the rising sign connections. Where things get tricky is where you have a Leo sun and they have a Scorpio sun, and these can be technically can be quite challenging with each other. Sometimes people do a tremendous amount of growth through the challenges. Okay, it's technically called a square, sun square sun. And it depends how strong the sun is in each person's chart, but you have so many other ingredients that are very supportive that it could make it potentially very comfortable, quite easy for you to live in a sun square sun relationship where you're naturally going to have some conflicts. You're naturally going to butt heads. There's going to be a constant energy of where you might feel challenged with power. They might feel challenged with power. Like, who's the boss here? Like, are you kind of trying to control me, or are you trying to control me? Okay, because that's typical with sun square sun. Okay, no matter the signs, but sun square sun, you're going to have a balance of power issues, ego, strong ego issues. But the rest of it, to me, it's very positive. Okay, so I'm just showing that before I even do the reading. So what I would like to do, if you don't mind, this is going to sound strange because I've done this a few times before. I would like to make this all about you. Well, damn it. Okay, I think I'm going to have to go back to the Romance Angels in kind of a way I wish I didn't have to. But I'm going to do it anyway. So let's put this over here. Look, I really haven't had any breaks so far in the show, so I can tell you guys I'm going to be wrapping it up after So-So, S-O-S-O, however. Let's have a look here. Regarding this person for Janine, given the notes that I've been talking about already, let's have a look what it says here. Codependency. Aha! Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Okay, now whether that's you or them or I'm not necessarily saying like drugs and so on, but with the notes there on the screen that you showed me, to me there's a very strong connection between you guys. Okay, and to me it looks like there's a lot of automatic comfort. There's a lot of things that are assumed that a lot of people would take for granted in a relationship. Like it's almost like you've got so much stuff going on already that's like it's automatic that you would have a relationship. But when I see sun square sun like that, that means that there's going to be really obvious issues about what is not working between you guys. They're going to be coming to the surface on a very regular basis, and what might be exposed is this energy of codependency. Codependency is very different from interdependency. Codependency is when, well, I don't even kind of want to go into definitions really. Hold on, let's have a look here. For example, here's a very simple example of codependency. Hold on. Like, for example, some people, when they relate to each other, if there's an intimacy, if there's physical intimacy, for example, and it's very satisfying for you or them or both of you or one or the other, that can be a very binding energy. And at the same time, it can be a very kind of compelling, almost like an addictive energy. Like when you can't get your fix, when they can't get their fix, you can't get they can't, whatever, then you get exposed to the energy of codependency as opposed to interdependency. And it's a very, I have to say, my personal feeling is this, it's a very awkward subject. Okay, it's not something that I'm going to talk about openly on the channel here. I have enough issues with the channel just to try and keep it in the guidelines as it is. So I'm very, very cautious about talking about this in any more detail, but I'm going to try and do the best I can. Okay, it says here, this card answers your question in perhaps a surprising way because addictions are the culprit behind the issues that you're attempting to resolve in this relationship dynamic. This could be your own craving for a substance or unhealthful behavior. It could be that your partner's addictions or behaviors that might be unhealthy are impacting your love life. Or it could be that you have unhealthy behaviors and actions that is impacting the love life. This card can also be an indicator of childhood experiences of having come from an addictive family where your present day more adult behaviors and activities in relationships have been conditioned from childhood. Okay, in a way it's almost like it's not fair. You didn't ask for this, but it does happen. It's quite frequent. Addictions numb the heart to pain, but they also diminish its capacity to love. Okay, so in other words, like gosh, I don't want to go too deep into it, like, you know, the obvious ones like sexaholics, alcoholics, opioidaholics, stimulantaholics, energy drinkaholics, verbal abuseaholics, people who are blameaholics, people who are projecting-aholic types, where they can't function without the other person. In other words, it's almost like a constant state of irritation and conflict, an itch that constantly has to be scratched. And like you could be using the other party as like a cat's, you know how cats love to have a scratch pole, or you could be used by the other party as a scratch pole. Maybe they need a scratch pole, where you end up with this codependency thing as opposed to interdependency. Interdependency is an indication that you're both very loving of each of oneself, and you don't actually need each other to stay alive, like as though you're going to die without each other. You're in other words, you maintain your selfhood, and you love someone who maintains their selfhood and their sovereignty of self, and you respect each other in your sovereignty of self. That's very, very different. That works when you have interdependence and you're consciously relating that way. Now, it says here, since love is the basis of your romantic partnership, addictions become a barrier to moving forward towards true emotional intimacy. This is especially true if you are twisting yourself in knots to please a person whose dependency has lessened his or her capacity for happiness. That no-win situation will negatively affect your self-esteem and your own happiness if you allow all this to continue. And of course, it might be the flip side too. You know, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but maybe you're the one with the problem, Janine. Okay? Fortunately, there is a lot of support available out there in the form of 12-step programs. Okay? Whether you or your partner who is having the addictive problems, like with behaviors or substances or whatever, you can find free groups near you through searches or by contacting community health centers. So it's really, really important to be really honest. Like with this chart stuff that you told me about, Janine, it's very obvious that there's a lot of very compelling reasons for you guys to be together. It's like a no-brainer. There's a very strong, to me it looks like a really strong connection. But when you come up to the level of the solar energy, sun square sun, what that's telling me is that there's a lot of unresolved past lives energies that's coming to the surface in this lifetime, where you're going to meet each other face to face, where everything that's not working about you and the other and the relationship is going to be right in your face. And so you have to deal with it. It might be fun, but you still have to deal with it. Okay? It's very interesting reading for me to give you, Janine, because it's quite rare to have such a really large set of connections between the sun and the moon and the rising. I guaranteed if I did your full astrology, I would find the trigger points between the sun and the sun, your sun and their sun, the Scorpio Leo thing, and we would figure it out. But that's a whole other deal. Okay? In the meantime, I think what this message here is like, be aware, be extremely aware, Janine, that it's the solar energies that are really, really going to count here, because everything else, it's almost like you can do everything else on autopilot. You might have a very comfortable, easy connection, except when it comes to the sun energy, where there could be serious clashes, and then you discover everything that you need to know about yourself that's not cool, that's not working. And then they need to know everything that they need to know about themselves that's not cool and that's not working. So that can be uncomfortable. A lot of very uncomfortable events and experiences on a foundation of a lot of comfort, if that makes sense. I hope that helps. Okay? Well, I can do astrology readings up to a point, Janine, but they're pretty expensive. I would charge at least the same as a full personal reading, and that would be the minimum, okay? Because it's a lot of work to have to do the astrology preparations for, a joint couples reading, okay? So you can check the links below if you're really interested, okay? Okay. I do it, Janine, but it's pretty rare. In your situation, it looks like an astrology thing might be actually really pretty useful to you. All right, so I'm going to put this aside. Next up, Jamie Chow. Let's have a look. Jamie, did you pick a deck yet? Jamie, did you pick a deck? So thank you, Janine. Take care. Next up, Jamie Chow. You're up. And then we have Dominique, and then So. So, Jamie, let's have a look. I'm going to scroll back. I'm going to clear the deck first. Hold on. Oops, excuse me. Jamie wants deck number 3. I think that's the Romance Angels deck. Let me just check. Okay, that's the Romance Angels deck. Psychic, Gaia, Romance, Power of Surrender, Nature. Okay. So we're for Jamie Chow, we're going to work on the Romance Angels. So we're talking about relationship dynamics. So Jamie, can you maybe put in a few words on the screen here? Type it in, because this has been a very, what I would call a very active 3-dimensional show today. I'm not going out on the big spectrum, spacey stuff. For my true talent that I should go for to gain my success. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm not going to use the third deck. I'm not going to use the Romance Angels deck, okay? Because if you're looking for talent and success, we're talking about things like career and money. You want a reading for number 5. Okay, so let's focus on 5. Okay, that's fine. What are the messages that nature has for you about your two talents, and tuning into Mm. Okay. So let me just clear this. We're almost done here, people. Thank you very much, Jamie, for your patience. Thank you, Dominique, for your patience. And so if you're still here, thank you. Let's see how this goes. All right, Jamie, so let's have a look. Now, yeah, so we're looking like a success. So we're going to use the Nature's Whispers here. Okay, that's what Jamie wants. It's very much like I just talked about earlier, about with the Nature's Whispers card, I'm tuning into all this aspect over here, all this stuff. This is what I'm tuning into here with the Nature's Whispers deck. I'm tuning into all the Pluto and Saturn energy up here in Capricorn, in deep harmony with the Uranus and Taurus over here. It's very earthy, rich energy. And in the middle, it's supported by the Neptune and Pisces, very watery, dreamy stuff. So this is very harmonious. It's very deep. Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Okay, 4 planets all working together in loose but rich harmony. Okay. And the messages are going to come to you from that level. So it's coming from very deep, deep, deep from the soul, okay? Okay, so what messages does the Nature's Whispers have for Jamie regarding talent and success going forward from here? Because they're feeling stuck, okay? There we go. Let's have a look. So I'm really breaking the deck up. Here we go. Wow, expansion. Okay, I don't know if you can see the details here. Just before I get the book, hold on, have a look at this. It's a really beautiful card. Can you see the spirit of the self here? Okay, can you see that? Okay. And it's like to me it feels like it's allowing yourself to connect like with the spirit of self. When I see this, see the symbology here? Okay, maybe you can't see it. Can you see the hand and the hand thing? Jamie, I do a lot of self-healing work at home here in private where I work with my hands on my own hands. I'll show you one of the things that I do. Here's one thing that I do. I am loving. I am loved. 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 It's a very intimate, personal, private process. And then what I also do, I'm very lucky, I feel, Jamie, because I have a really rich relationship with my invisible friends, my angels and guardians and spirit guides and loved ones from the great beyond who've passed over. Okay? And I often feel their connection to me through their hands. I often have very strong feeling of energy of hands in my life, hands on my shoulders, hands on my head, hands doing healing on me, okay? And there's some sort of connection that's happening here where I think you're becoming more and more multidimensional as a person, where you're starting to see your life in your world much more like a kaleidoscope, much from a, like almost anything and everything is possible, okay? And then it becomes almost overwhelming. Like, what am I supposed to do with it? It's like you're getting a chance to have visions and expanding and seeing your life from a much bigger perspective. Almost like being in a magic movie. Look at the balloons here, where you're getting a chance to see your life. Like, imagine you get a free ride in a hot air balloon, and you see your life in your world in a way that you've never, ever known before. It's quite frightening, of course. I've been inside one of these, but I never took off. I was too scared. If I had a chance, I would do it again though, and I would do it properly. Let's have a look from the book here. All right. Expansion. Jamie, this is for you. You are continually moving, evolving, and going through cycles in your life. Attune and align yourself with the rhythms of nature around you. This is an exciting time with new beginnings, growth, changes, and opportunities. There are many settings that will provide for inner development and expansion. I was talking about a kaleidoscope. I would recommend looking at your life like as an amazing adventure now. Like, where can I go? What can I do? How can I do this? What do I need to learn? What do I want to experience? How do I want to experience? Who do I want to experience this with? And then you kind of go, okay? There are many settings that will provide for inner development and open outward expansion. So, pay attention to everything that is going on around you and the effect that it is having on you. Imagine that you are inside a kaleidoscope, okay? You are inside a movie and you're watching the movie of your own life, okay? Perhaps consider environmental issues or use this as an opportunity for new studies. It's a good idea to recognize the need for extra rest and personal care while you are integrating all these new energies into your life, so that you are ready for the important messages and opportunities that become more clear as you start taking the adventure and going and expanding beyond your existing life. It's going to take a while for this to sink in. I think there's a strong message here that you have to take some risks. Do something adventurous. Do something crazy that you've always wanted to do that you've never done before. Just as in nature, you too have seasons of growth and maturity. And I think that's what's happening to you right now. You are looking into it right now. We just started with the Libra new moon. Okay, so it's a really good chance. It's only a few days. So what I would do is like, listen to this message very carefully. Give yourself permission to go like, you know what? Thank you, Tio. I'm going to do that crazy thing that I've never done before. For example, there's a thing that I love to do in my neighborhood. I don't do it too much, but I like, because it seems too much effort, but it's always exciting when I do it. There are a couple of hotels. Well, there's one hotel near here. Well, there's two. And I like to walk inside the lobby of one of them. And it makes me feel like I'm a multi-millionaire. And I walk around as though I have like a penthouse suite. And I walk around, and sometimes I splurge and I buy a little drink at the bar. And just pretend I'm like having this huge, magical, amazing adventure life. You know, it's just for fun. And there's another one, I've only done it a few times. There's this other hotel, it's right over here. It's right over here. And you can go to the very, very top floor, and they have like a penthouse little restaurant cocktail lounge. And you can see a huge landscape in front of you, all the ocean and the city and the mountains and the town, everything. It's just amazing, okay? That's what I'm suggesting here. Treat yourself to something absolutely amazing that blows your mind, and then see how you feel afterwards. And that'll take you on the right steps in the right direction for where you want to go with your life, your talents, your dreams. You're at the very, very early stages here of discovery. It's time to discover the things that are inside you already. But I think it means going on an adventure. Thank you, Jamie. Next up, Dominique. Are you still here, Dominique? If you're still here, Dominique, over there in Florida, I think. Okay. Hold on, I have to put this deck back together. I'll keep going for a few minutes, see if Dominique is here. So, are you still here? S-O, are you still here? S-O. Okay, I just saw something on the screen. It just got canceled out here, so I'm going to post it up again. It says, I would like romance, and I'm a single in Cancer. Okay, and you're in Canada. Okay. All right, so thank you very much, Jamie. It was a lot of fun. Dominique, you're over in Canada, and we're going to use the Romance Angels. Okay? I'm just clearing this deck, okay? All right, you're a sun sign Cancer, okay? SO is still here. Oh, okay. I thought you'd gone. So I'm going to put you back. So SO, can you please prepare yourself by letting me know up ahead we have 5 decks, okay? Here we go. So SO, we have 5 decks regarding psychic growth and awareness, okay? Gaia deck if you're already spaced out and you want to come down to Earth. Romance Angels if it's all about lovey-dovey things, especially if you're connected with someone. Power of Surrender if you're struggling between the ego and the soul. Okay, it's very tough battle sometimes. Nature's Whispers if you're looking for a message from Earth, from nature itself. Okay, so let's have a look. Dominique, it says here, I would like romance and I'm single in Cancer. Okay. So that's leaving things wide open. So all the Cancerians, by the way, all the Cancerians, you know, I'm just going to show you from one of these charts. I'm going to use the same notes from earlier. See if this is going to help us at all here. Okay, forget all of this over here. So I'm going to take this chart. I'm going to twiddle it like this. Dear Cancerian, actually I'm just going to make your own. Forget it. So this is for you, Dominique. I'm going to keep it very, very simple. I'm going to put you as a solar Cancerian, okay? SO wants psychic growth. Okay, so we're going to put PS. Thank you very much. Okay, so SO, you will be the last reading for today. That's it. So hang in, please be patient. And thank you all for being here, everyone else. So Dominique, I'm just going to do a really quickie thing here for you. Just I want to point something out to you. It's for all Cancerians. All Cancerian sun signs, okay? I'm going to put the sun over here, okay? So everyone born with a Cancer sun sign, I'm going to put this as a solar chart. So, dear Dominique, this one's for you. By definition, anyone who is like in your life regarding really important relationships, this is more like true love and romance. This is more like just dating and hanging around and sleeping around. This is more the energy of what happens after you're married. But this is the energy of a serious relationship, like a chosen relationship between a one-on-one. This is the axis of relationship. Okay, so for over here, in the axis of relationship, you're dealing with 2 very powerful influences that have been going on for a long time. And it's happening in a very slow way that you might not know. Pluto and Saturn are living over here in your 7th house of relationship. So it can put you in a position where things move very, very slowly and move in a very kind of serious way that might not be fun all the time, but ultimately it's for your good. And it's going to involve change and transformation and about being very, very down to earth and realistic about how your relationships work. In other words, there is not going to be any room for, there's not really, you're not allowed to have any illusions over here. It means having to have relationship dynamics that are very, like, like almost like very simple, direct, blunt, in your face, where like you deal with everything in the moment, like almost like a business thing. You can't rely on, spacey, expectations or anything. It's all about what's happening in the reality of your love and relationship, and it'll have a very kind of serious tone. Like whoever shows up in this part of your life, we still have a few more years for Pluto and at least another year for Saturn, okay? So it's a lot of pressure. Like, for example, during that time, maybe nothing happens at all, okay? And whatever happens in the relationship, they will have a really deep, long, and slow transformational impact on your life at the deepest level of your soul, okay? And it will come with challenges and responsibilities and probably require a long-term commitment, okay? That's the energy of Pluto and Saturn working together. So, in other words, be careful what you wish for, okay, Dominique? I would get out of it by saying something like this. Dear heaven, dear angels, I would do this. This is my, like, disclaimer thing. If I was Dominique, this is what I'd be doing. Dear heaven, dear angels, dear guardians, dear invisible friends, my loved ones from great beyond. I'm single, I'm Cancer, I live up in Canada, my name is Dominique. Please bring to me that which is mine. Please take away from me that which is not mine, in love and relationship. Please guide me and please protect me, okay? And so you're asking for the very, very best things to happen to you, which could include things like challenging transformations, but you bring it on because you ask for it to bring it on. It's like, bring it to me, bring it on, please bring to me that which I need in love and relationship, so that you can learn and grow and evolve, and the other party, will also learn and grow and evolve. It's just that it's the type of relationship that's going to be serious, probably profound, possibly long-term, and require commitment, and it might feel kind of like heavy at times, but sometimes those are the most valuable. When you have Saturn in the 7th house, it's like the energy of, like, no matter what, like even when things get really, really bad, you figure out ways to deal with it because it's worth it. It's that kind of energy, okay? But it does require the understanding that you will change and the other party will change. In other words, you can't just sit how you are and just expect everything wonderful to come to you. You are going to be fundamentally changed by whoever arrives in your life. Let's have a look. So Dominique is single. She's curious about what's going on out there for love and relationship. So let's pull this card, see what kind of storyline comes up. I hope it makes some kind of sense. Let's have a look. Okay, it's like you deserve love. Okay, so this is good. This is very encouraging. You are lovable. So before I get to the book, if you're wondering, like, am I lovable or not? That's not the problem. You are fully lovable and you deserve love. So the question becomes, what does this look like? How does this manifest? What are we going to do about this? It says it's right at the very, very end here. Okay. The romance angels are cheering you on in your quest for great love by letting you know that you deserve it. That's very, very important. It's not going to happen unless you feel that you deserve it. And when it says here, your quest for great love, I think that's very strongly indicated by the Pluto and Saturn alignments in Capricorn in your 7th house of fundamental, most important relationships. For example, marriage. As a child of God, you are naturally a loving and lovable person, as is everyone, by the way. You have the right to be treated with kindness and respect by everyone in your life. If you have had harsh life experiences, you may have blamed yourself and felt unworthy of receiving affection. This card is a reassurance that you do deserve love, okay? Even if you were imposed upon, if you are an abuse victim, for example, it's very common, especially the younger you are, it's very, very common for abuse victims to take on the blame as though it's their fault that they were abused, okay? This card is a reassurance that you deserve to love and be loved. You are a beautiful being of God's pure love and light. No matter what any person or other person has said or done to you, and no matter what happened in the past, God's handiwork can never be undone. The more that you affirm, I am lovable, I am loved, I am loving, the more this experience comes true for you. So that's another tarot illumination thing we do here a lot. Okay, Dominique? I am loving, I am loved. I am loving, I am loved. And for that to happen, of course, you have to own it. So I like to do a precursor, which is I ask for the healing power of love to fill my body, mind, heart, and soul from above. And I sit and I wait for that to happen. And it happens. And then I have it in here, and then I own it. So then I can be loving, which means that I can be loved. Like people who have been screwed over, it's very hard for them to do all of this. So they have to start from scratch. Even when they're adults, it's almost like why didn't anybody tell me this? But it's possible. It is perfectly possible to heal yourself and allow yourself to be loved. But you have to start from the self first, okay? That's why I talk about love thyself. So that you can be loving and be loved, okay? Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. Let's get on. Okay, over here. The more that you affirm, I am lovable, I am loved, I am loving, the more this experience comes true for you. Affirmations help you believe spiritual truths at a deep, unconscious level. This, in turn, allows you to attract loving people, loving relationships, and loving circumstances. And you definitely deserve it. Okay, so I don't want to keep repeating that message about you deserve it. That's the key thing. You deserve it. The question is, how do we activate this so that you can actually experience the love that you deserve? Okay? Let's just say you deserve it. So the next thing is to activate it. We activate it. Typically, I would start with affirmations, just like they said here, just like I was trying to describe over there. But that's a whole other project, okay? I can't do that right now. I'm not going to do it on the show right now. We're pretty much at the end of the show. Thank you so much, Dominique. I hope that helped you. I'm going to clear this up. Next up, we're going to read for So. And they chose the Psychic Awareness deck, okay? I'm just clearing this deck. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's put this aside over here for a second. I'll be right with you, so. Alright. Give me a second here. Everything is falling apart on the stage. Alright, there we go. So we'll put this aside. We'll get to that in just a second. Let's shuffle it all up here for So. Okay. Thank you, Dominique. I hope that helped you. Hey, yeah, thanks for that, Path Traveler. I see that. So, noon Pacific Standard Time. It's kind of like first come, first serve. Oh, you want Power of Surrender? Oh, okay. No problem. No problem. We can do that. Actually, no. I'm going to use the Psychic deck, okay? So this deck, it's all about It's like the art of this whole idea is to help you to awaken your senses. Like you're already, okay, so you're already a three-dimensional being. You have your physical body. You have your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, your skin, and your taste, your hearing, all of those things. That's how we live our lives, okay? And our brain is a device that's designed to detect problems and solve them so that we can grow and live and prosper. That's sort of it. But if you've been to this channel before, and I know I've seen your name a couple of times before, there's so much more. You have your aura, and it gets bigger and bigger, and it has all sorts of layers to it. And when we expand and grow spiritually, all of this starts to become more like this, and that becomes more like this, and this, and this, and this. And you can start to have experiences like extrasensory perception, high sensory perception, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, like expanded intuition, mediumship, psychic phenomena, and so on, which can be very disorienting if you're not used to it already. Some people are born into it from very, very young. There was, I don't know where Ubasti is. Ubasti Spur used to visit here. I think she went away. And she's a very natural psychic, but she was really struggling with the energy. Because sometimes it's really, really hard, because it feels like you're being invaded by spirits and like people and souls and energies that are all out there. Like, who are you? Where are you? Where do you come from? What does this all mean? So it's very disorienting. Some people are very like physically dense and solid and earthy, but they want to become psychics, and so they can train for that, like in a very methodical training camp. Some people are natural, and it's too much, and they don't want it, you know? And then there's everything in between. So with your energy, what I'm sensing here is that it's like curiosity. It's curiosity, like, wow, so there is so much extra out there. The psychic resonance, all the extrasensory perception, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience. It's a beautiful thing. It's like having imagine that you're a really good, like, a smartphone, okay? But we're taking it to the level where you have much higher capacity, like much better internet connection, where you can see so much more, sense so much more, and it becomes very visual, okay? With the extrasensory perception. Let's have a look. Let's see what's coming here at you, okay? Let's have a look here. So, it's interesting. I just felt something from you. S-O. S-O. I just felt something very, very simple. You know, sometimes this happens, you know, but I felt this kind of energy as though you were kind of going like this with me. It's almost like there's a little bit of fear in it, but also adventure, like, oh, like, Lumination, please tell me what I need to know. Oh, like I'm very, very curious. That's what I sensed. I sensed the energy of curiosity, and it's like this is something that you really, really want to know. It's like a little bit of you is scared, but a little bit of you is also very excited at the same time. So let's pull your card here. We have this. Exercise your vibes. Okay, this is very encouraging. With this number I'll read for you in a moment. But this is something that I do a lot. I have a daily practice. I do it about 5 days a week, okay? Where I have my own personal self-healing practice. And the whole point is to clear out the rubbish. Just same as you would put out the trash in your home, or clean out your car, or clean out your computer, or clean up your desk, or clean up your bedroom, or your apartment, your house, or your dishes, or whatever. So everything, in other words, because I like to do this thing in life where it's clean as you go. I like to clean as I go, so I'm not encumbered by huge, horrible messes later on in the day or the week or the month. You know, financial messes, emotional messes, relationship messes. And the way I do that, the way I keep things really, really clear, cleansing, clarifying, refining, and purifying, the way I do that is through my self-healing practice, which is very physical. Okay? Exercise your vibes. But this is also taking it to the next level, okay? Where it's like, it's time for you, so, to actually give your, let's say, if you're starting to feel like you're getting psychic experiences and getting in touch with things like extrasensory perception, it's time to get used to it and start having fun with it and start practicing it, okay? Let's see, it reads over here. It says, there is too much static in the air for you to move ahead right now. Get back to the earth and get grounded. I mean, sweat, okay? A good dose of physical exercise gets your energy flowing in one direction, upward, to higher levels of vibration. And it keeps you from getting in your own way. Your brain is working overtime, and your spirit has been spotted leaving the premises of your body. It's like having unwanted out-of-body experiences, okay? By exercising, you quiet your overactive mind chatter and you call your spirit back. In other words, you bring yourself back into harmony, like back into union with the self with the self. So you're not just like a brain that lives on top of a body. And you know how a lot of people do that? You know, a lot of people live lives where there's their head. They live their whole life through their head, and all the rest of them, like their chest, their heart, their lungs, their arms, their torso, their legs, their feet, are just like appendages or accessories to getting done whatever the head thinks needs to be done. But there's so much more to life. Your whole body is one, like it's one thing, okay? And you're transmitting an energy constantly from there. So this message here is to, like, for example, if you live off energy drinks, or if you constantly live very actively through computers and social media and all those sorts of things, where it's very, very consuming up here, but there's, you know, the connection from here to here is impeded. The best way to do that is do something very physical, especially if you can do it every day, like a walk every day, some yoga every day, some kind of like Pilates, whatever it is, some kind of physical thing, some kind of self-healing practice, dancing, you know, some people go to those dance movement classes, anything like that's really, really good for you. Okay, so let's have a look. Hold on, I'm going to go back here. Okay, what does that say here? Hold on, what are these notes here? So it's been a thing for me since when I was young. Okay, so the past 10 years of life, you'll be getting grips with it. Okay, well, it's time to get deeper into it. Okay. Oh, excellent. This is fantastic. SO, thank you so much. You're on day 3. So running is just one thing. Okay, I can't run. I can hardly run because I have so much damage in my spine and my feet and my legs. But I do other things. So I have a very physical life. Okay, I walk every day. I bicycle every day. I do my self-healing practices every day. And that's so, so important for helping you to get in touch with your psychic self. Okay? In other words, your psychic self. You can't just sit there in a chair and meditate all day and drink energy drinks and live off candy bars. You can't do that. Or you can't just live off herbal tea and meditating and rice crackers. It's not going to work. You have to get your whole physical body. When your whole physical body is engaged, that's the most powerful way and most effective way that you can become more and more attuned with your psychic self, so that your whole body is resonating, okay? By exercising, you quiet your overactive mind chatter and you call your spirit back. Only then can you begin to hear your angels and guides and make connection with your invisible friends who are patiently waiting to offer you guidance for your present challenges in life. So, Shifting your energy from a mental to a physical focus through exercise will jumpstart and reinforce not only your psychic sense, but your creativity in life overall as well, especially if you're stuck. Okay? So, if you want to access your vibes, improve your vibes, give your mind a break, and get the lead out. Okay? Once you do, notice how negative energy leaves your body and your ideas. And then guess what happens? Good energy comes in. Aha! Solutions suddenly leap into your mind in ways that they could never have entered before. The universe is always broadcasting creative and positive guiding vibrations to you. And now you're going to have a greater and greater and greater improving chance of receiving those messages. Exercise changes your frequency so that you can access this source of inspiration better and better and put it to good use. Okay? So you're already on path. So well done. You're off to a really, really good start. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Gigi, I just saw you. Okay, apologize. Okay, everyone else disappeared, but Gigi is back. Thank you. You just caught the show just in time. This is going to be the last reading. Thank you, so I hope that made sense to you. Everyone else, I'm sorry about these. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that one. We're not going to do that one. We're not going to do that one. I'm so sorry. You'll have to come back next week, okay? All right, Gigi, you wanted the Romance Angels, okay? I guess if you could type something into the screen, because it's been a very, let's say, a very proactive day here with the readings. Give us an idea. What are the messages that Tarot Illumination has for me, through the Romance Angel deck regarding love and relationships in the matter of ... You know, an ex-boyfriend or ex-lover, children, marriage, abuse, separation, fear, whatever it might be. Could you please type something into the screen? Hey, SO, so it is time to get unstuck. You've already started, now you have to keep going. 5 days a week, okay? 5 days a week. Something. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes a day on exercise. Mix it all up. Try different things. Do a Pilates. Go to a gym. Do some swimming. Swimming is fantastic for you. Do some walks. Get a bicycle. Do basic yoga classes. All of it. Mix it all up. Get physical, okay? Yeah, you have to take it to the next level. Seriously, to the next level, okay? All right, Gigi, here we go. I'm looking for your note. Future husband description, since I'm single and you want to visualize. Okay, visualizing a future husband. Let's do this. So what are the messages from the deck here for Gigi Valdez regarding visualizing a future husband? Now, I have no idea what's going to show up, okay? Here we go. Soulmate. Okay. It's pretty simple. Okay, Gigi? Yes, this is your soulmate. Now, if you haven't met them yet, don't worry. It looks to me like you are basically poised at some point down the road where whatever happens, you know how it doesn't always, some relationships are not soulmates. Some relationships are brand new in this lifetime, completely new. Looks like we're looking here where when you have a soulmate, well, let me just read for now, and I'll tell you. Hold on. So regarding a future potential husband, okay? Megastar, you were here all the time. Oh my God, why didn't you tell me? Man, hold on. Oh, I just buried your post-it note. was asking for all the people from way earlier. Okay, Megastar, I'm going to read for you after Gigi, okay? That's it, people. That's it. Gigi and then Megastar. So Megastar, if you've been watching, please pick a deck. Okay, we've got 5 decks. I'm gonna. We'll come back to you in a moment. I'm reading now for Gigi. So this is regarding the potential in the visualization. Okay. You chose this card, or we pulled this card for you, because you are wondering about a certain person coming into your life, if they are a soulmate, and the answer is yes. They may not be here yet, but that's kind of what we're looking at, okay? As we all do, you have many soulmates, beings with whom you share a mystical soul connection and a life path. Soulmates incarnate with a plan of coming together in this lifetime for mutual spiritual and personal growth. And I would like to add healing, spiritual healing. Relationships can be the most powerful and valuable environment for healing. As you suspected, the person that you're thinking about is one of your soulmates. That sense of familiarity and comfort you felt, or that you will feel when you first met, will also indicate that you have a soulmate bond. In other words, you'll know. Gigi, you will know. And you can feel it. I guarantee when you have a soulmate connection, you will feel it. Just like that. This card sometimes comes to those who ask, when will I meet my soulmate? Or will I ever meet my soulmate? As a validation that this will occur. This card is a validation that this will occur. Many times this is a person whom you already know. Although romantic sparks didn't fly at first, you'll have another opportunity to explore passion together. But sometimes it's somebody brand new. And I think we all have those to some extent, and you too, Gigi, where like the future prospects for you regarding love and romance are going to be very much, it might not be like a traditional thing like, oh, I gotta have the right partner, the house, the car, the kids, and whatever things that go like that. Or maybe you're going to be single, you support him, then he supports you, you advance your careers. There's so many different ways and reasons that people have relationships. But with a soulmate connection here, it's definitely about your growth and evolution and healing simultaneously with their growth and evolution and healing. So the chances are it's just going to happen that you're going to attract a soulmate type. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a husband type of thing, partner, whatever. It's basically how it's almost like being really, really good friends. It doesn't mean you're always going to have the perfect thing together, because sometimes really good friends call each other out. Like, this is not acceptable as a friend. No, this is not acceptable as a friend. So you have to be aware of that. I think you're going to be okay, Gigi, but to me it looks like you're going to have to expand your, let's say, idea of what love and relationship would be, in case you're coming from a limited perspective or a narrow perspective, like he has to look like this, be from here, do this, do that, have this, have that, have that. I'm saying, please be forgiving, let that stuff go aside, and allow for the soulmate to arrive, okay? I would ask for it by invocation. I would ask for it deliberately by invocation. Please bring to me my soulmate. Please take away from me anyone who is not my soulmate. Really, really simple. Something like that. Hold on. For you, Gigi, to me it's very simple. I would nurture a relationship with my guardian angels, my invisible friends, all of that stuff, and ask them, please bring to me my soulmate. Or please bring to me a soulmate. Please take away from me anyone and anything that is not qualified. Thank you very much. I wait patiently. And then you do it. And you could do that every morning with your prayers, or every evening with your prayers. All right. Thank you, Gigi. Next up, and finally, that is it, people. We're going to read from Megastar. Okay. So, Megastar, we have 5 decks here. This is it. We can talk about that another time, Gigi. The invocations. Look up you can Google it. You can say, what is an invocation? Invocations. Very, very powerful. Okay? We can work on that. Hello, Diane. I won't be able to read for you. Sorry. But we have 5 decks. Okay, Megastar? So if you're wrestling with psychic growth and expansion, okay? Oh. What do I need to know if I'll sell my house soon? Oh, okay. So it's very practical. I'm going to use the Gaia deck. Okay? Talking about practicalities here. Regarding the potential selling of your house soon. Like, what if you sell your house soon? Oh, you want the surrender deck? Oh, okay. Sure. We can do that. The surrender deck, when we use the surrender deck regarding the potential selling of your house, what we're asking is to, like, if you have a lot of expectations around the situation, and the whole idea of letting go, I can understand, like, if you're very deeply vested in your home, like financially with deep mortgages, or you have a lot of equity in the home, or perhaps the home is really suffering and there you might be in like a losing situation, whatever it is, selling a home is like sometimes like it can be a very liberating experience, or it can be scary. You know, buying and selling homes are like some of the biggest transactions people do in their whole lives, okay? Okay, so what do we have as a message here from Megastar regarding the question of if they'll sell their house, okay? Here we go. Did a very extreme cut. Surrender to trust. Aha! I'm really glad to see this, okay? I'll just read from here first of all. Can you see? It's very, very beautiful card here. There's like nature, lakes and trees and fog and mist and big trees close by, lots of little plants close by. And here's the energy of a soul basically completely trusting themselves into nature, okay? And to the events and the circumstances, okay? It says here, trust yourself and your decisions. Do not be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. You take action and you be confident that you have chosen the right path. Wow. So it's really about, you're really having to trust yourself here, okay? Like, if you're surrounded by people who are saying, like, well, you know, Megastar, like, do you really want to move? You know, you could lose a lot of money, or maybe you're letting down your family, or where are you going to go? How are you going to cash out? Are you going to have to downsize? Are you going to end up living in on a bench on the street by a bus stop? What are you thinking? Or you know, whatever it could be, or like, don't sell Megastar, or you have to sell Megastar. But only you know, okay? This is a really powerful message that you really have to get deeply in touch with you, okay? I'm just going to read it again. It's a very simple message here. It says, trust yourself and your own decisions, okay? Do not be swayed by other people's strong opinions and influences about what you should do in this situation with the house. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path, okay? Do you know, like, trust, do you know what trust means? There's almost like a definition. I'm not a dictionary, but trust is, it's almost like believing in something that you can't prove. Okay, so the only thing that you can do is trust. That's why they have things like trust funds. That's why they have like places like Fidelity and Vanguard, these massive investment trusts, like trillions of dollars. It's trust. You put your money in the trust, and you trust that the people who know what they're doing are going to do what works for you. You just trust them and believe it. You can't prove it. You can only do it by observation. So this is to you with yourself. It's a really simple, blunt message, okay, Megastar? And I don't think you would get this message unless you were having deep doubts about trusting yourself, because you might be under a lot of pressure. Like, what about kids? What about expectations? What about jobs? How am I going to get somewhere else to live? Am I going to make a smooth transition from house A to house B? Or what do I do in the middle time? What happens if something gets screwed up in escrow? What happens if I start the process and the next buyer, you know how like when people are buying, selling houses, sometimes it's like a chain. Like you get locked into these chain of events where you want to sell, someone else is a buyer here, but they can't close the contract until they sell, but they can't sell until someone else has closed on a deal over here. So it gets multi-leveled and very complicated. But I think the message is very unambiguous. If that's your primary home and you use the word if. So if you decide to sell your home, you're going to have to trust that you're doing it for the right reasons, the right place, the right purpose, and the right intentions, and it's coming from a very loving perspective. If you choose not to sell your primary home, you're going to have to trust exactly the same thing, that you're doing it for the right reasons, the right perspectives, the right time, the right purpose, the right mission, from a loving perspective. So either way, you're going to have to trust yourself. I mean, you can listen to other people, but ultimately, it's all about you. It's totally about you. Okay? I hope that helped you, Megastar. It's really getting into your power. It's totally getting into your power, learning how to trust yourself, making very, very big decisions that are going to have big consequences. If you do what everyone else is telling you to do, it's just going to be a mess. So you got to do this for you. Thank you, Megastar. It was a pleasure. Let us know how things work out, okay? Type it in the comments or write to the Tarot Lumination or something like that, okay? Thank you, everybody. I'm going to play a little bit of music and hang out and say goodbye. I know there's only a few left now. It's been a pleasure to read for all of you. Sorry I missed everybody that I couldn't read. Anyway, we do what we can. Thank you. I'm going to put this away over here. Wow, we did it. Look at that. We've cleaned up. We're totally cleaned up. Oh, I just polished off all that water. Let's have a look here. Hey, Megastar. I hope that works. It's a tough one. It's one of the biggest decisions, buying and selling a home. Some people do it for a business, it's just routine for them, lots of paperwork, shuffling money and everything like that. But for a lot of people, a home is a home. It's not like a house, which is something that can be bought and sold. It's a commodity. It's a thing. A home is like, it's where your family is. It's where you reside. It's where you feel safe. It's where you feel comfortable. It's where you do like the things that everybody does at home. All right. Yeah, you have to. You really, really have to. I mean, you can also kind of get professional advice. That's very different because you are looking for that. If people are just telling you what to do, oh, Megastar, don't do that. What about the kids? What about the boyfriends, the girl? What about losing money? You could lose a ton of money. You're just cashing in your equity and then you'll just blow it all on something stupid. That's just bunch of... So sometimes it helps to talk like with 3 realtors. I'm not kidding, because I've played these kind of things before. You talk to 3 different realtors and tell them, hey, I'm thinking of selling my house. I haven't done it yet, but I need to run the scenario in front of you, okay? You've decided it's a done deal. Okay. Whatever you've decided. There you go. Sometimes it helps to run the story between 3 separate realtors and get the story from each of them, because they're going to have, each one's going to have different stories, and then you make your decisions. But it sounds like you've already decided. So Tarot Illumination will now officially shut up. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put on a little tune just for fun, and then I'm going to wrap it up because we all have lives to live. Thank you. Let's go over here a second. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Dun, dun. I'm going to put this aside over here. And I'm going to play around over here with this thingy. And just do something over here. Give me a second. Alright, so again, I thank you everyone. And we'll check out slowly and gently, say your farewells and bye-byes. And with any luck, we'll be here next week, Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday at noon, Pacific Standard Time. Okay?